you straight into the fence, and Stickers might take advantage here. There's damage on old Lakey's car.
What is he doing? Oh boy!
Oh, big crash. Huge crash. Glasses into him. Glasses into him.
Less than a second away from the podium.
It's not over till it's over.
Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Oh my god! He gets it, does he get him? He goes into the lead! Oh my god! Oh! That is absolutely incredible!
Oh boy. He's too deep. Oh, he's in it. Oh, it's drama. Drama. Oh. He's gone for a move very opportunistic. Oh, that came out of nowhere from Morgan Day.
The battle back for second is an absolute hot rocket. Oh, there's a big tap from Racebeard away. Racebeard's in the wall. But he's recovered straight away. That bug was so lucky. We'll get a quick
Good evening, Sector 1. Welcome back. Round 2 of the Sector 1 World Tour resumes here today in Florida. We are here for the Daytona road course. It is, of course, 14 turns, 5.745 kilometers. It's 10-minute qualifying with 25 laps. It's the Division 3 and Division 1 week, our Group A week here at Sector 1. And the track schedule for tonight is as follows. Division 3 starting momentarily with their qualifying 10-minute. 7:15 will be the 25 lap race for Division 3. Division 1 kicks off at about 8 o'clock with their 10-minute qualifying, and straight after that, concluding our track day, is the race for 25 laps. My name is Lenocis, and joining me in the commentary box tonight is crazygoodkungfu, who is making his Sector 1 comms box debut. How are we doing tonight, mate?
Yeah, doing good, thank you very much. Had about a quarter of the meal that I should have, but other than that, doing fantastic. And of course, my name is George as well, and yeah, real pleasure to be here. Privileged indeed, and looking forward to the race today in Div 3.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited for this one. Daytona, long straights, heavy braking zones. I mean, it's just a recipe for great racing. And in the sort of half events that we've had here before, the racing has just been incredible. So looking forward to every minute we have here tonight. And qualifying just about to get underway. I think everybody is ready to go. So whenever you're ready, click that big red button, Crazy Good Kung Fu.
Yeah, it is a very big red button on my desk. I set it up specifically for the Division 3 race because we're going to see some antics down to that turn 1, I think, and lots of tricky corners on the infield. The outfield's good fun, of course, lots of slipstreaming that can happen, but it's going to be really interesting to see exactly what pace these guys are on in comparison to our other divisions, which of course we do have Division 1 later on tonight.
So there's a bit of a mix of tyres on the cars at the moment, which is a bit funny because Gur's on Inters. What? Hang on a minute.
That's a small mistake by Gur there. It's not raining. I'm just looking up at the moment out of the commentary box. I don't see anything happening rain-wise. That's going to cut about 3 minutes out of his qualifying.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what's happened there. That might be a glitch with the game, or maybe he's just accidentally left some medium tyres on that car, but that's a huge strategic error from Datsun Racing early on in this qualifying session, as we're following on board with Carbonboy at the moment as he drives through the second sector on track at the moment, just coming through the third hairpin on the track, about to turn onto the outer section of the track, following closely behind Scheisser for Brocchio 5 Sim Racing. Looking just behind them, we have Bumcrack, third on track with his very, very shiny Kraken Esports car. Wow, that's very blue. And Killer just behind in the green, black, and white Merlin Lightning Motorsport Toyota. I mean, the Lightning Motorsport cars just look so good. Just behind them.
I mean, some fantastic liveries on the grid. I mean, I just have to admit, like, hats off to whoever's designing these, because it is, like, genius level liveries. I can't do a livery to save my life at all, so hats off to these chaps. And
we're gonna have a lot of contenders for the Mo Jalen Award this season for the best livery designer. So just behind Killer is Budsy, who has an eager Boybagum in a McLaren. 2 MR cars. I think it's 2 out of 3 that are on the grid tonight, actually. And they're going side by side.
Just to add a sprinkling of pain to Gur's situation, he has picked up in position 12 there a little bit of a penalty.
Oof, that's not going to be good for him. As I would assume he ducks straight into the pit lane as well here. On the intermediate tyre, yes, he does peel off into the pits. Get him off those intermediate tyres as soon as possible. As we see Budsy into the pits as well, who went out on the medium tyre, which is... I'm not too sure, because you are allowed to change your tyre between qualifying and the race, so... Maybe it must just be what's already locked into the car for him, and he thinks, oh, well, the medium tyre, might as well go out on them so that I don't accidentally go out on the wrong tyre. But it looks like Carbonboy is overtaking Shizer to start the first flying lap of the evening. It is a Supra up against the BRZ, and on paper, the BRZ is slightly slower in a straight line. Well, I mean, I say slightly, it is a lot slower in a straight line to the Supra, as we're seeing now as Carbonboy is just pulling away from Shizer as he comes up to the bus stop chicane now. We'll see where he brakes. Might be a bit of a conservative braking point by the looks of it, but looks like he's nailed the exit.
Shizer might have picked up a penalty there. We'll see as he goes through the outfield, because that was quite an interesting line through the bus stop. But you're right, that BRZ does seem to be lacking quite a bit of pace. Good in the corners, but yeah, the pace is just not there, is it?
Yeah, as Bumcrack is right up under the rear wing of Shizer there, and as he actually pulls out to make the overtake, and Bumcrack to the top of the timing charts with a 1:47 flat. As the times are starting to come in now, and Killer on the low top of the times, 46.8. Boy, Stranger, Freelix, oh, they've all gone ahead of him.
Dethroned immediately by 0.7 as well. Freelix, he's absolutely flying in that Supra. I guess the speed is just kind of really making him fly through this track around the outfield. Crikey, that's impressive.
Blistering lap from Freelix, topping the rest of the field by 7 whole tenths. That's just incredible stuff as we approach the halfway mark of this qualifying session, as Budsy and Gur look to be making their way around to start their first flying laps of the day.
Yeah, I wonder how that Mercedes is going to end up doing in terms of tyre life in the race. I do know that it's not great on its front tyres, so it might be quite a challenge to manage the strategy here today for Gur, despite his interesting strategy in qualifying, intermediate strategy. Really putting it out there with some unique thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see everybody, well, Bumcrack's down actually, but Carbonboy is up by 3.5 tenths on his time. And by my calculations, it should put him up into P2 if he can convert this lap into, if he can finish it off, I should say. 2 tenths up now, which isn't going to do the job that the 3.5 tenths that he was up last sector is going to do. So we'll keep running through the grid. Proa, the other Obsession Motorsports driver, slots his car into P6, very tight between Carbonboy and Boybagum there, 3 tenths up and 6 tenths down.
I think we might have had a late realization from Black Project that he is actually on the mediums. He's now going out again on the softs.
Maybe a strategy call. Might be trying to just wear the... Oh! Boybagum into P4. Rex, the reigning Division 4 champion, up into P9. Daz goes into P3, second row of the grid. Great lap from Daz. Edging out Killer by just 0.02 of a second.
I don't want to be biased here, but McLarens are my favorite car, so Go, boy, Begum.
Oh, Budsy up into P2.
Oh.
Great lap from the ISO Esports driver who didn't have a very great outing at the Nürburgring. The tricky wet conditions seemed to catch him out in his Group 4 Porsche Cayman. But striking now with a third of qualifying left to go. He finds himself on the front row, 3 tenths behind Frelix. So great lap from Budsy.
Speaking of which, there is a bit of action going on between first place currently in qualifying and third place on track. They're right behind each other. Maybe some action going on between them during the outfield section of Daytona.
Yeah, the Alfa Romeo that Stranger is driving lacks straight line speed, but this slipstream is really going to pull him back in. Let's see if he can set a good lap time as they come into the bus stop.
Almost looked up the inside there, but that would have been very cheeky.
As they fly through, and that was very greedy from Stranger, and he picks up a half-second penalty. Frelix escapes unharmed. So that's going to hold Stranger in a very difficult situation. I think he's going to get around to do 2 more laps. So it looks like he might have been saved by the time. Yeah, 2:20 left on the clock, 1 minute 40 lap times. He'll easily get another lap in as bum crack to the top of the timing charts. 1:45.8. That is a blistering pace for this Division 3 grid. Great stuff from Bumcrack, and he's purple again. Oh my goodness.
He's absolutely flying in that Supra. Super OP. Is it coming back again? Is this another repeat of what we've seen in I think it's some of the online races in GT7? Maybe.
We'll have to wait and see, as at the moment it looks like Pruer up into P3 as well. Great lap from him. But at the moment, it looks like a Supra dominance. The top 3 all in the Supra.
Oh, and who's that spinning? Oh. That is Mayer. He is spun just coming out onto the outfield.
Oh, that's not great. He was purple as well, so not what you want to see. Has quite a healthy buffer to P2 though, so he should get another lap as well, looking at the time. 1 minute 15 left on the clock.
Yeah, he should just get around for another one.
We're just right on board with Budsy as he's just coming onto the first banking now. On his run down towards the... Oh, he's massively purple, 3 tenths. Can Budsy convert this lap as Black Project, the current championship leader, sets a 1:47.1. Carbonboy up into P5. Shizo improves his lap time. As Budsy, 4 tenths purple. Frelix to the top of the times with a 45.5. But I think Budsy might get him here. As Budsy rounds the final corner. The short run to the line. To him it must seem like an eternity. As he rounds the final bend. Across the line. Oh, so close. P2. As Rex improved as well, up into P10. As this, I think that's going to be the last lap for everybody. And Guru, this is going to be his last lap. I don't think he's going to improve either. Wait, he might? No. Oh, he got through apparently. I'm not too sure, Gran Turismo, but... Yeah, I'm not too sure. He was definitely... Okay. Oh no, he is finished. Okay, it's just not showing up with the checkered flag. I was a little bit confused there.
Yeah. I was going to say, it looked like he was going for another lap, and I was just like, but no, for some reason the checkered flag is not showing on our screen. It's a bit unfortunate. But this is their final lap, everyone.
Yeah, so Frelix currently sitting in provisional pole position. Oh, is he going to be up on his time? That's the big question.
Well, we've got
no,
Pruer.
massively down.
We've got Pruer, he's 0.2 up at the moment, but he's about 0.8 off the first place Frelix, so he might be able to do something in this Supra. Let's see, he's just coming through the Le Mans chicane, just gone through it. Oh, now he's 0.25 down. Oh, no.
P4, second row of the grid for Brewery. You'll definitely be happy with that, especially after missing the first race of the season. Boy Begum into
nice.
P5, just pipping Carbonboy. Rex into P7. Great showing from the Red Mist driver. As Prua crosses the line, doesn't improve. Daz into P5. Great lap from him. Next across the line. No, that's everybody who is going to cross the line. Yeah, Budsy crosses. And he does not improve. So that concludes the qualifying session. As we'll have a look at the qualifying results real quick. So to
Fantastic
recap,
pace from these guys.
yeah, absolutely. Freelix on pole position with a 1:45.503. Budsy just behind by about 0.2 of a second. Bumcrack in third. Pro fourth. Daz fifth. Boy Begum sixth. Carbonboy 7th. Rex 8th. Killer 9th. Stranger 10th. Black Project 11th. Gur 12th. And Shizer in the BRZ sitting in P13. So what are your thoughts on that qualifying session, Crazy Good Kung Fu?
Yeah, it's an interesting. We've got the Porsche of Budsy up there, 45s, very impressive times, the top 3 in the 45s. So really, really good job by them. A little bit gutted personally that the McLaren didn't get further up the grid, but Boy Begum still doing well to put his car third on the grid there, third on the grid slots there. So 6 overall. But overall, I think, yeah, really good job by everyone in Div 3. Very impressive.
Yeah, some very good pace up and down the grid. I think a lot of people were saying that Killer on the Loose had a bit more pace in him, so I was expecting him to see him a bit higher, but I'm sure he'll bounce back with a great race. So these guys should be ready to go whenever we are.
Absolutely. I think we're just giving them 60 seconds just to cool down from that intense qualifying session and getting ready, obviously, for that turn 1. It's going to be interesting for the guys at the front. Well, actually, everyone, to be completely fair. It's going to be an interesting one, especially on the rest of the infield. Looking forward to seeing what's going to go down, actually.
Yeah, so we're having a look in the chat. We got a couple of people. We got Robert Rice, Nismo Nath, Debrev, Womble, Good Doc, Dadson, Chase, Troy. Oh, that's a familiar name in the chat. Troy Brown. Haven't seen him here in a while. But yeah, Shannon is saying, yeah, Killer had more pace. 911 is going to get bullied. Is Troy's hot take of the day. I mean, it might be a hot take. It could also just be a good prediction. I guess we'll find out. 25 laps left to go. Who do you guys think are going to shine in the race? Put your what's it called? Put your suggestions down below, and we'll Killer for the win for sure, says Scar. He's a Lightning Motorsport teammate.
A little bit biased, maybe, but and it maybe it'll go the other way. Maybe the 911 will be bullying all the Supras. Who knows?
I mean, from what we've seen in the practice starts, though, it's going to be carnage at turn 1. We pray that it isn't, but there's a good chance it could be. And carnage at turn 1 means that the lower guys are going to get a boosting hand up the order very early. So anything can happen. So I think it's time to push the big red button. What do you think, Kung Fu?
Yeah, I think we are ready to go. Everyone is still checked in. Qualifying results are all resolved and stored. So we're going to hit that big button right now and get this show started. 8 seconds to go and 25 laps at Daytona. Let the magic begin. Whoa, it's going to be a good one.
There's a lot of strategies for this race as well. The 1-stop, 2-stop. How long do you stay on the mediums? We're about to find out now with the Division 3 guys as they're lined up on the grid, eagerly waiting.
Grid start here, of course. The lights will go on. We will be away momentarily.
2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5 lights. Revs rising. And these guys are away. We're racing at Daytona. Off to a great start. Look at the Subaru and the McLaren. Daz goes, a little bit of contact with Budsy there. But Daz moves his way up into P2. Can he hold it around the inside as they approach turn 1? Budsy gets shoved out wide. Huge contact for Budsy. Drops it all the way down to 6th position. A little bit of push and shove, but it seems like everyone escapes still alive, as Felix has made a bit of a run. Carbonboy up into P2. Great stuff from Carbonboy as they round the 4th turn now. Heading up towards to complete the first sector. It's, oh, that's Prua that looked like he was getting a little bit sideways in the background there, as Bumcrack has had a terrible start, dropping all the way down the order to 8th position. So not great for him. Go rounds out the back of the grid. So Dadson said something about Guru not being able to change off the intermediate tyre. Can you confirm with us, Kung Fu, whether he's still on those inters, or was he able to get... Oh, somebody's gone wide! That looks like Black Project!
Straight off, 90-degree angle. That is just straight off. I'm not sure if maybe it's a controller disconnect. He is not moving at all. He is just stuck on track.
Oh, this is disaster for the championship leader in his black light Ferrari. Get Good Doc on the phone. Oh, no.
Yeah. Luckily, though, I can confirm that Gur is not stuck on the intermediate tyres. He's on the softs. He is at the back of the grid, but he is not on soft tyres, thank goodness.
That is an absolute relief for the for Dadson Racing's team owner.
Oh, and looks like Black Project has managed to get started again, so maybe a temporary controller disconnect problem for him, but he's got it sorted and back on track.
Yeah, but he's 25 seconds behind everybody else. That's almost a whole pit stop, so... Terrible.
Can you run really long on the mediums? Let's see how long he can extend them. But we've got racing softs and racing mediums are both required tyres today, so you must use both tyres. So that'll be an interesting one for him. Can he do something magical to get back in this?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It'll be a tough ask, but I mean, the way he drove in the first race, I wouldn't put it past him. As Felix has opened up a... that is incorrect, game. It's saying that Felix has a 1 minute 49 second lead over Carbonboy, which is not correct.
No, something not quite right with the GT7 engine there. Oh dear.
As Daz right up under the rear wing of Carbonboy as they come through the infield section.
Just looking down at P10 at the moment, I think it's Boy Begum there who has dropped quite a few places. I think he qualified 6th in qualifying, but now dropped. He's just gotten bullied out a little bit in that McLaren. Very unfortunate for him.
In the opening lap, there was a lot of winners and a lot of losers. Particularly Boy Begum, Bumcrack and Budsy all losing a multitude of positions through the first few turns. As the game still hasn't sorted itself out. It still says that Felix is ahead by 2 minutes. Hopefully it'll sort itself out when they cross
Just getting some information now. It's about 2.5 seconds the gap from Felix to Carbonboy. So not 1 minute and something, thank goodness. And then behind Carbonboy to Daz, it's about 0.7 of a second. So pretty close from second down, but Felix is getting a little bit of a jump on the rest of the pack at the moment.
As we see him move down the pack, it looks like, who was it? It was, Scheiser's making the move on Rex now. Is he able to get past? He's got less straight line speed, but in the slipstream, is he able to stick it down the inside? He does go for it. Does he get it pulled up? Yes, he does. That's a great move from Scheiser. Brilliant stuff. Moves himself up into P8.
And we have a World Championship fight happening in 4th and 5th at the moment, and a pass. As
Prua has dropped, been overtaken by Budsy, got shuffled wide a little bit there. But we'll see if we can catch the replay, the move from Scheiser on the Next Level Racing Action replay. Looks like he got within the range to try and make a move, chucked it down the inside, and that's a textbook move from Scheiser. Great stuff from the Brocchio 5 sim racing driver.
Absolutely, and unfortunately we've had a bit of contact between Prua and Budsy was forced onto the grass just at the end of the infield, and he is dropped down to 10th spot. That's going to be a frustrated man in that cockpit.
Yeah, not great at the moment. Started P2, down to P10 now. I mean, it's not what you want really, but it happens, it's racing. We'll see if the stewards need to intervene after the race, they will do so, but for now, Budsy P10 and Prua in P4.
Well, and actually on recovery at the moment, Black Project, he's 41 seconds off the top leader at the moment, Freelix. 25 seconds to Gurr, so he's made up actually a little bit of time already, but it seems like a little bit of a hopeless cause at the moment for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Gurr is sitting quite a fair way off Stranger as well, so it's not ideal.
Yeah.
So everyone in the chat is wondering what starting tyre are all these drivers on?
Cool, so I can go down the grid and we'll give you guys all of that information. At the moment, it looks like most of the field on softs. Freelix at the top of the grid on soft tyres, 3.5 seconds ahead of Carbonboy. Also on the soft tyres, Daz on the soft tyres. So top three, all still reasonably close together on the soft tyres. Fourth place soft tyres, Killer on the loose, that's racing softs as well. Maya, softs as well. Rex, softs as well. In fact, pretty much everyone on softs here. I'm just going to scroll through. Do we have any medium runners? No, the only medium runner was Black Project. So everyone else on soft tyres at the moment.
Okay, so that would also probably explain why he's that gap to Gurr is sort of stagnated for Black Project. He's not really gaining anything. He's shown us his pace in that first race, and throughout the seasons, Black Project has always been one to mess with. But that issue at the start of the race, yeah, it's not great. But he's going to try and climb his way back through and see if he can salvage a result. It's going to be a very interesting 20 laps for Black Project ahead of us.
That's right, and Carbonboy nearly getting a little bit wide on the Le Mans chicane there, but setting a good second time. Oh no, that's a penalty. Dear oh dear, just a hair too wide on the exit of the Le Mans chicane, and the gap to Daz has been gradually shrinking over the last couple of laps. He's in slipstream range is Daz, and it looks like serving the penalty, Carbonboy now, and it looks like Daz will probably catch him on the outside of turn one here.
It's going to be tight.
Ooh.
It looks like he holds onto the position actually, so that's some good stuff from Carbonboy.
Yeah, really held the inside well. It's tricky to do at turn one because you really want to go wide and open up that corner into turn one, but no, manages to defend very well, and Daz just not able to make a move.
Yeah, I mean, that gap closing up, about halving as it stands at the moment, 4 tenths. It was 8 coming out of the chicane, so good stuff from Carbonboy. It just seems like the Subaru doesn't have the straight line speed to capitalize as much as you would probably want it to coming through the penalty burn zone there, as in this tight and twisty section, Daz right up under the rear wing of Carbonboy there. But now as they head out onto the long straight section, you would assume Carbonboy to edge just a bit of a gap, which we're starting to see that gap going up through 6.5 tenths and into 7 tenths, and yeah, it's almost pointless for Daz to try and keep up in a straight line.
Yeah, he will have that slipstream, of course, on the outfield, but you know, we saw that a 0.5 second penalty at the end of the straight at maximum speed really had no effect between the cars. So you're right, I don't see him getting ahead here again in the outfield.
Also, Freelix has made a jump immediately off the start and currently has a 5-second lead ahead of Carbonboy in second. So doing a great job there, Freelix.
A little note on his tyres, just before we move to some other battles on the field. He is using a lot more tyres than the other chaps, so he might be struggling on those softs at some point in the next few laps.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking down the pack, Budsy, he's already made up 2 positions since his tangle with Prua. So finds himself on a charge, as we have a couple of people in the chat tipping him to go all the way, see if he can salvage a good result, which he's not that far behind the rest of the guys in front. A huge pack ahead from 6th to 2nd. There's about 5 cars in amongst that, so he's actually purple through the first sector. So expect Budsy to make a charge through the pack. Porsche lacking a little bit of straight line speed, but it's one of the best all-round cars in Gran Turismo.
Yeah, Porsche doing Porsche things with the rear tyres, though. They are burning up quite quickly, and Rex ahead of Budsy has just made a little mistake, and might give the Porsche a bit of a run on the outfield. Oh, purple
Budsy's
again.
6 tenths up. That's incredible stuff from Budsy on an absolute charge. So 5 and a bit laps in, would we be able... Oh, he's lost a little bit coming out through there, but are we able to get a tyre and fuel update, Kung Fu?
Absolutely. So just been looking around the field at exactly that. Most people on track are now just below 50%. No one really doing a lot of fuel saving. Person who's got best on fuel at the moment is actually Budsy. He's burning up that right rear tyre quite significantly. But everyone else seems to be doing slightly better on their tyres. The worst at the moment is actually Felix. So he's a little bit low on fuel than the rest of the people around the grid, but and his tyres are not looking great either. And no one doing significant fuel saving, it seems, at the moment. So about 50% more distance here. Potentially some pit stops at the 14 or 15 lap mark as they run out of fuel and potentially tyres as well. And maybe before then.
Yeah, I mean, well, with fuel-wise, you said that most people are hanging around the half a tank mark. So, I mean, you would just, I mean, it's going to be a very touch and go. Oh, yellow flag, somebody's off.
Oh, there's a big accident. Yep, it's Pruitt in the 6th spot now. And yeah, he had a huge moment there.
That's not great for Pruitt. As he said, his personal quickest lap on the last lap, and now he's under a lot of pressure from the Division 4 reigning champion, Rex. As Rexy gets the run on Pruitt and puts himself up into P6. So Pruitt's mishap promotes Killer up into P4, Bumcrack up into P5, which Killer, by the way, he's made up 7 positions in the opening 6 laps. Incredible stuff from Killer.
It's a position per lap.
Yeah.
This man is he's flying. He's flying. He is quite low on fuel though, so he's getting down towards the 25% mark. And again, the rear tires suffering quite a lot, specifically the on the long left-handers as they do keep full acceleration. It is burning up the right rears quite a lot on every car. Some suffering more than others. But yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it, Lenocis? What is the strategy call going to be here? Will they try and save some fuel? Will they going to dash into the pits, get a drop, and carry on and on the mediums? What do you think the strategy might be here today?
Well, to make the one-stop work, on paper, you need to be doing laps while saving that are within 1 to 1.5 seconds of your push laps. Now, that is tough work because, especially in the Supra, to be able to save that much fuel and remain in that bracket, it's getting on the edge of impossible. I mean, I've seen some of the aliens of Division 1 pulling it off, but it's definitely a tough ask for these Division 3 guys. But some of the more conservative cars, such as the Porsche or the Alfa Romeo, they shouldn't have too much of an issue completing the one stop. But that being said, it's going to be really touch and go with their pace as opposed to the straight line speed of these Supras. So we'll have to wait and see what happens, how this race plays out, as we're on lap 8 at the moment. So expect these guys to be peeling into the pits sooner rather than later. The pit window for the 2-stop is around lap 8 to 10, depending on how long you want to stay out on that first pair of softs. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens for these guys.
And Lenocis, I think we need to jump on board around position 6, 7, 8, 9. There's a 4-way battle going on between those positions at the moment. They've just gone through the Le Mans chicane, all very close together, all within 0.5 of a second. Pruitt, Rex, and then Budsy and Boy Begum in the McLaren.
As it looks like Pruitt's got back past Rex, but Rex peels out to the inside line as they cross the line to start the 9th lap. And it looks like Rex is going to get the move done, but Pruitt, he's known as wide hips, sticks it down the inside. Oh my goodness, that's a desperado move from Pruitt. Gets the move done. That is incredible defense. That's why they call him wide hips. Incredible stuff from Pruitt. As we'll try and catch the... Oh, Rex sticks it back down the inside. Oh my goodness. Rex and Pruitt going under hammer and tongs, but that's just bringing Budsy into things. As Budsy up under the rear wing of Rex now. Rex going defensive. Can Budsy pull off the move? Oh, thinks about it, but doesn't quite stick it down the inside. As
we've got
Rex
contact.
checks up Budsy and just a little bit of a love tap. That brings Boybagum into things as well. Oh, wow,
Great
this is incredible
battle.
stuff.
And of course the rear tyres of Budsy, while he's fast and he's right up in it because of the battling going on ahead of him, that rear tyre not serving him very well, not able to slow the car down. And yeah, the little love tap with Rex, but no love lost between those two. A four-way battle, crikey. Brilliant stuff between Rex and Pruitt, unbelievable.
And despite all that, these guys still remain in the same positions that they were 5.5 kilometers ago. Oh, is Rex
Amazing
right
stuff.
up on...
Oh,
Oh, huge
he's on.
contact! Oh, no. That's massive contact. It looked like Pruitt broke a little bit earlier than Rex was intending, and Rex just ran straight up the back of Pruitt, and it completely ruined his line through the bus stop and drops all the way down to P9. So not great from Rex.
Unfortunately, and looks like Budsy has picked up a 0.5 second penalty for running under the white line on the entry to the Le Mans chicane. He's serving that now. Boybagum ahead now in P7.
Oh, Rex, first one to pull the trigger, peels into the pits on lap 9. 4% in the tank.
Brilliant job. I mean, that's maybe a little bit early on the pit stop, but the two stinter here, as we were just mentioning, could well be coming into play. And yeah, if you get back out another pair of softs, maybe might be the play. It could be the play here today, as we do see the sun starting to set. And of course, if you're aware of the settings in the lobby today, it is afternoon moving into evening, and we will be in the darks with lights on at the infield and the outfield in about 10 minutes or so. It's starting to get dark there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we'll have a look on the Next Level Racing action replay at that first stint of the battle between Pruitt and Rex as they went side by side. Pruitt just sticks it down the inside, does the old switcheroo. Rex overtook him in the first place, but Pruitt says, no, I'm going to take that straight back from you, and gets the move done back on Rex there. As we see things tightening up between Carbonboy, Daz, Killer and Bumcrack. It's just a couple of seconds between these four. They each have a bit of breathing room, but I mean, things could spice up between these guys sooner or later. Freelix pulls the trigger at lap 10, peels into the pits with 4% fuel in the car. So does Carbonboy. Daz does too. Killer in 2. Bumcrack peels in. Does Pruitt. They're all peeling in. You would assume Pruitt would too. Yep, he's in. Does Boybagum go around? No, he pulls in. Budsy pulls in as well. Does Shizer pull in? No, Shizer goes around.
Shizer. Yeah, good on him. There we go. Cheers.
So does Stranger. Stranger goes around as well. And does Gur? That's the big question.
Well, yes, exactly. Freelix still maintaining a 6-second lead, or I think a 7-second lead, sorry, above Carbonboy. But provisionally they'll be dropped to P3 as they are in the pits at the moment, getting their new tyres, and the refueling rate, of course, pretty standard default rate here, but it does take a little while to put 100 litres of fuel in these cars.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Rex comes out of the pits. He's sitting 6 seconds behind Black Project, who is on the medium tyre. What tyre did Rex put on?
So we've got Rex now on the racing softs, so he's chosen to go for another fast stint. And we do see a couple of medium runners
huge tyre smoke from Black Project there through the first turn.
Ooh, yes indeed.
Not great.
He's right on the... Not great at all, no. The right rear of those medium set that he's running right now looking very unhealthy. He's a little bit low on fuel as well, but he's staring down the back of Boybagum's McLaren now. Overall, he's made up about 3 seconds on the race leader, though that is Shizer, who has not pitted yet.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what tyre is Budsy on? And how much does he put in the tank?
Interestingly here, he's taken about 53% fuel, and he's on the medium, so I think he might be thinking about a one-stop.
53% fuel. I mean, there's still a long way to go, 14 laps, but I think he's just trying, it might just be that he's trying to hold the least amount of fuel as possible on this medium stint. As the medium
Yes.
tyres around here, they have very, like, not a large amount of pace compared to the soft, so probably just trying to limit the amount of time he spends on the medium tyre. As Shizer peels into the pits, lap 11, as Stranger goes around again, as we have heard that the Alpha, it is a strategy-based car. It hasn't got the outright pace, but if Stranger can make the one-stop work, he's going to be in prime position for the race win here.
That's right, and I'm just looking through the grid again at fuel percentage taken after that vast array of pit stops all in one lap. It is Daz at the moment taking about 95% fuel.
Carbonboy and Freelix fighting for the position of provisional P1 at this stage, side by side. Oh my goodness. As Carbonboy's made a massive jump on Freelix there, almost 7 seconds. So what's happened to Freelix?
So Freelix, just checking the fuel amounts at the moment, he sat in the pits and got himself up to 90% fuel, while Carbonboy is not even at 50%.
So Carbonboy obviously just trying to run a shorter stint on the medium tyre, but that means he's gained massively on Freelix, who's obviously going for a longer stint. As Carbonboy might potentially be able to make the move, he shows his nose to Freelix, but backs out before the bus stop.
Great stuff from these two, and good strategy call there from Carbon, and have got to give it to him. You're right, absolutely right, of course, on the low fuel mediums. You don't want to be on those for very long. With Freelix on the racing softs, so it's softs with high fuel versus mediums with half fuel. That's the battle we've got at the moment.
And it's very, very tight at the moment between these two.
Around the field as well. I think most people have chosen to go with 50% fuel and mediums. We've got a few soft runners with slightly higher fuel, including Rex, who took about 3/4 fuel and on the racing softs down there in 11th spot.
That's a great question, one. Well, what has happened to Rex and Boybagum? They're massively behind Budsy and Prua. 10 seconds. What has happened to these two? Their lap times don't seem out of the ordinary per se, but yeah, is it fuel difference? Have they taken on more fuel than Budsy and Prua?
Yes, they have indeed. Both of them choosing to go with about 75 or 80% maybe. So I think I'm just going to try and compare the pit stop times, in laps and out laps of both of them around the 2:08, although the in lap for Rex is at 2:13, so might have got caught up in some action before he got there. He just went purple in Sector 1 though, on the racing softs.
Yeah. As Rex flying by in that gorgeous red mist livery done by the man himself, Womble, the current holder of the Mo Jalen Award for his work last season on the ASR, becoming Respawn Esports, his own team Red Mist, and there was one more team that he did, but I can't for the life of me think of that team. Would somebody in chat or Womble himself be able to fill me in on the other team that Womble did? If I am remembering correctly, assuming he did do another team, that is.
We do have some action up in 8th spot at the moment between Prua, Budsy and Daz. All of them going very close together through the Le Mans chicane, and Budsy getting ahead of Daz.
Yeah, Daz has dropped off a bit. He was in P3, but now sitting in P8, so has he also filled up a bit more?
He has 3/4 fuel for him, both him and Budsy on the medium tyres, so that's where the difference in time is coming from. Into the first corner they go. Oh, a look up the inside, not going to happen.
A little bit of contact.
Oh, Daz closing the door.
Oof.
Crikey, that's brave.
That was very, very tight between Budsy and Daz. Maybe a little bit of a love tap as Budsy, sticks it down the inside. A little bit of lag getting in the way there.
I think so. But nonetheless, good driving from both of those guys, especially Daz there on the full fuel. He lost the position, unfortunately, but overall, great defense into turn 1. That's very impressive.
Yeah, as Budsy holds on to P6. As also, because of Daz taking on more fuel, Bumcrack is up into P3. He's on the podium places. As I think Bumcrack is overtaking Killer as well, because Killer was sitting P4, but he's still sitting P4 after being overtaken by Bumcrack. So Their
Yeah.
battle is still on track. As Stranger has pit as well on last lap, lap 13. Oof.
Oh, and he's just got and cut a little bit of the verge there with front splitter, but managing to control it. Full fuel for him on the mediums, so he's going to be very heavily laden. And of course, as you mentioned before, the Alpha is a strategic car as opposed to one with outright speed. Behind him we had Gurr also go into the pits, got off his softs, now on the racing mediums also with a full tank of fuel. So Lenocis, does that bring them into the one-stopper now?
You would assume, I mean...
I assume, but it's tough to call at this point. The tyre wear will still be pretty significant for them on the mediums, so...
Yeah, I mean, they're hovering around the 49.50 mark, lap times, whereas the guys up front are doing 47s, and they've also got a 50-second lead to chase down. So it's gonna, I don't think they're gonna be able to go for the race win, but maybe being able to recuperate some of those lost positions with the one stop, I definitely, I mean, we'll just have to wait and see how the strategy comes into play. The open air as well means they won't be losing as much time as the other guys are squabbling that they are. So we just have to see what happens with these guys, to be honest.
In fourth place, a battle going on for a podium spot. Will it happen on the outfield? Whoa.
Oh, as Killer gets the inside line, brilliant stuff. Puts his car through on the exit, coming back onto the outfield. But Bumcrack, he's going to have the slipstream. Is he going to be able to stick a move into the bus stop? It's not the place to make a move, but it looks like he's going for it. Pulls out of the slipstream. No, ducks back in. That's very, very wise from Bumcrack, the Kraken Esports team owner.
Yeah,
but he's going to have the slipstream all the way. Oh, no, he's not. He's had a terrible exit out of the bus stop, so he's dropped to beyond a second. So the slipstream, oh, yeah, he's missed out on the slipstream on this occasion as Carbonboy peels into the pits to get off those medium tyres, and he's going to have a 10-lap stint on the soft tyre, you would assume, to finish off this race. Bumcrack in too, Pruiner in as well, Budsy in, Daz in, so yeah, that's all the half-filled guy. Oh, wait,
that's
Daz
right.
in? Daz is in?
Daz is in? Okay, so he decided not to lose time in this pit stop with the refueling. He should just do a quick swap of tyres onto the softs and be out. That could gain him a couple of positions potentially, because these other guys are going to have to put a quarter of fuel in.
I mean, ideally, you would usually want to be out there setting lap times on the least amount of fuel as possible. Even if you have to be sitting in one stop to fill up more, I mean, it just...
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like the right call, but I mean, we'll see how it plays out for these guys. It might be a stroke of genius.
It could be. I mean, they're coming on the pit out right now. Daz gone from, I think it was 9th that he was in, to 6th place there.
Yeah, absolutely. Which he was P3 before though, so...
Oh, yes, that's true, yes. He has fallen down the field, and that has made him up a bit of time, but he's actually gone onto full fuel. So he did take some fuel there.
Yeah, he's gonna be in absolute push mode till the rest of the race. So expect him to rise up, gain a few more positions, absolutely. As funny enough, the one stop of Stranger has come out just behind Daz on the 2-stop, who was P3. So there is genuine merit in the one stop.
Yeah, I mean, overall it's going to be, you're going to be losing positions on track, but then you can, either push later. It seems to be equal speed here in Div 3. Surprising, to be completely fair. We do have a little battle going on at 12th spot at the moment, down the rear of the field, between Shizer and Black Project. Black Project, also on the one stop, I believe, now bringing himself back into contention for a 12th spot.
Yeah, I mean, Shizer just made his 2nd stop, so that's once again another thing to say on the 1-stop compared to the 2-stop. I mean, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out, because also the 1-stop, spending more time on those medium tyres, losing time constantly, you'll lose about minimum 6 seconds being on the soft, the medium tyre as opposed to the soft, but yeah, we'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah, that's right. We'll see how it plays out. And fourth place, Boy Become just had a huge moment, but he managed to catch it on the medium tyres. He's 13.4 seconds ahead of Carbonboy behind, but he'll be flying because he's got full fuel and on the racing softs.
Yeah, I believe Boybegum and Rex still have to make another stop. Boybegum maybe not, but Rex will definitely need to make another stop, I think. I'm fairly certain.
Almost certainly. His fuel is at 25%, and those softs are not looking healthy.
So what's with Boybegum? Is Boybegum going to be stopping again, or do you reckon he could go to the end?
It's a tricky one. You know, if he manages his fuel, which is tough at this track, given all the long straights and high revolutions in the engine, he might be able to do it. At this point, I'd honestly say he has to pit again. He's on the mediums, he's on low fuel, he's had a moment, he's already starting to lose the grip on the mediums, and yeah, that amount of fuel, you're either going to be fuel saving and losing positions, or you need to come out and make a charge like some of the others in the field.
Yeah, so Killer and Freelix, I would assume these guys need to make another stop as well. Yeah, I believe Carbonboy is the first of the runners that have completed their 2 stops.
Yeah, that's right, and that would explain the 43-second deficit, because he was up there fighting with Freelix earlier on.
Absolutely, yeah. So looking down to P7, 8 and 9, we have Stranger and Bumcrack fighting for position, and Prua getting in amongst the mix as well. Can Prua stick it down the inside? No, he's going to go through the middle of them. No. Bumcrack covers it off. He goes side by side with Stranger. So they come into the braking zone very, very close, but avoids contact. Can Prua make 2 positions in 1 corner?
Oh, it's
yes, he can! Incredible stuff from Prua. What a move! Just finds the gap and sticks it through. Let's catch that one on the Next Level Racing Action replay. As they come into the braking zone, Prua gets Stranger from the outside, then gets Bumcrack with the switchback. Incredible stuff.
Brilliant stuff, and he's put himself right out of range of the absolutely flying Budsy, who's now on the back of that same pack, eager to get up further in the top 10. Oh, and a little bit of contact with Stranger. He helps push and nudge him back into the right line there, both flashing in their lights, and no love lost.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of contact. I think it was a bit eager from Budsy, but I mean, if he was against a Supra, it would be understandable. But with the Alpha, they're very similar straight line speed, so he should be able to get him around. Well, he's going to go around the outside here, but
he's going to try. Yeah, he might eventually get past him here, but no slips from ahead to help either of these drivers now as they come into the
side by side. Are they going to go side by side through the bus stop? Who's going to concede? Nobody concedes. Budsy sticks it through.
What a move there by Budsy. That is brave, to say the least.
Great stuff. We'll have a look on the Next Level Racing Action replay. Of course, we've got the live feed down in the bottom corner, but we see side by side through the chicane. And that's just a great move from Budsy. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah,
as these two are about to go side by side again as we cut back to live. As a Stranger not giving up this position just yet. Gets past him.
Is that
goes
a nudge
D.
there?
I'm not too sure.
No, it might not have been actually, no. I think it was just, he was a bit late on the brakes, trying to be defensive into turn 1. It just hasn't worked out from there.
So we'll check on the Next Level Racing Action replay once again. See what happened. We'll slow it down. And yeah, it looks like he's just got it. Yeah, I don't think there was any contact there. It looks like he just got it stuck up through there, missing his braking point and going a little bit deep. So Budsy should be clean with that as he goes on a charge once again for Bumcrack and Prua. As we also saw Rex coming out of the pits behind Stranger, completing his 2nd stop of the evening.
That's right.
Somebody's hit the wall. Who hit the wall?
Who hit the wall there? I think it was around the field.
I think it was just Gran Turismo doing Gran Turismo things. I heard a wall hit noise. Maybe somebody grazed the wall coming back onto the outfield.
I think so. I'm looking around. There's no damage on any of the cars. Nothing obvious, and maybe just a light touch, and the microphone was just at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, I think so. As Killer and Boybegum also make their final stops of the evening, as Carbonboy goes through the first turn up into P2 now, as Killer still putting fuel in his car. 5 laps remaining as he comes out on the medium tyre. As there's a huge battle between Pruitt, Daz and Bumcrack, who's Daz has split Pruitt and Bumcrack here into P5, Daz. So he's making a bit of a charge back, was in P3, but finds himself in P5, so has a bit of work to do to get back that podium. About 8 seconds to the podium now, so that might be the deficit for staying out with the larger fuel load in the car.
That's
oh,
right.
huge tyre noises.
Oh, and it is Killer on the loose. He's got through at the end of the infield. Oh, fresh tyres.
Oh no,
He hasn't
Pruitt!
managed- Oh, Pruitt through.
Oh, goes up into P3 onto the podium, and that 8 seconds has just turned into 1 for Daz. Only 1 second away from a podium now.
The fates have flipped for all of these drivers, and third place looking like a possibility for everyone, right down to Mayor in 6th place. It's within reach now.
We have a huge battle on our hands between 4 cars, and the reward is a podium.
That is brilliant, and as we stay on board with this battle down in the last few positions, we've had Shizer getting past Gurr, and they're going at it again in the Le Mans chicane, and Black Project coming in for his last pit stop. 50% fuel for him on the racing softs.
As Felix has completed his final stop of the race as well, with 4 laps left to go. Carbonboy 18 seconds behind Felix, so Felix, barring any mistakes, should be able to see this one out.
Correct, and it's a battle of 50% fuel between the two of them at the top spots, but it is racing softs for Carbonboy, a little bit worn, and fresh racing mediums, ensuring that he doesn't get pinged by that required tyre here at Daytona.
Yeah, look at this battle for third though. Very, very tight stuff between these guys, as Pruitt edges a little bit of a gap. Looks like he's nailed that first sector, which 500ths off his personal quickest time through the first sector this late on in the race, which I think, oh no, he's on the softs, which is just incredible stuff on those worn softs.
Yeah, magic, and between these 4, Killer on the loose, the only one on mediums. Oh, Daz taking a look, thinks better of it, but he might have him now on the outfield. Whew.
Yeah, Killer had to go defensive, so Daz might be able to get the run, but Killer, is he in slipstream range of Pruitt? No, he is not. But Pruitt's had a terrible exit there, so now Killer is back in with slipstream range.
That's right, 0.6 is the gap, and the racing soft starting to lose their edge on the Supra.
Daz under a lot of pressure from Bumcrack as well. Bumcrack thinking about a move through the bus stop chicane, but wisely backs out of it.
Oh, there's going to be some brave moves in the next 4 laps. 38 minutes through this race, 4 remaining now in terms of laps. Oh, this is getting spicy, isn't it?
As Daz gets a brilliant exit out of the bus stop and is right up under the rear wing of Killer now. As they cross the line, as they approach the line to start the 22nd lap, and Daz could potentially go for a move on Killer. Does he pull out and do it? No, he does not. Thinks about it again.
Oh, he's quick though on those racing softs through turn 1. Killer on the loose just does not have the grip on the infield that these guys have. So, to be fair to Killer on the loose, he's done really, really well to hold these guys off through the infield. The speed of the Supra, managing to keep him in 4th place at the moment and within range of Pruitt in 3rd. Still happening. 3 laps to go.
Yeah, incredible stuff from these guys. As the gaps are still more or less nothing. I mean, a little bit deep for Daz.
That's right, and we've got some action for 10th spot as well, with Boybegum and Rex coming together in the infield just a moment ago.
Let's see what happens between these two as they come through the 5th turn. Yellow flag.
Yellow flag.
Somebody's lost
and
it.
It is Killer on the Loose, Daz, and
Oh,
Mayor,
no.
all three.
All three are gone. Oh
And
dear.
Budsy has got a 1 second penalty and he's up in the 4th spot.
Oh, what's happened there?
What is that?
No.
We need that on replay. Oh dear.
The
Might not be
second
able
we
to
turn
do
away
so.
from this battle, it all hell breaks loose.
It did indeed, crikey. We've missed quite the incident between them.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what's happened there, eh?
I'm just trying to look at the damage at the moment. It's just disappeared. We had some rear damage on on Killer on the Loose. So I wonder if he's been rear-ended by Daz or maybe Budsy, because Budsy got that 1 second penalty. It might have just been avoiding action that has happened there.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, but Boybegum, Rex, and Stranger within nothing of one another. And that struggling Alfa Romeo is still fighting for position. Daz, the runner-up in Division 3 last season, Stranger, the runner-up of Division 3 last season, under pressure from the Division 4 champion.
Amazing stuff. We've got battles all over the field. It's incredibly difficult to keep up with it all. Daz and Mayer going at it again. Killer right on the back of Budsy. Prua has got an 8-second gap behind him now in 3rd spot.
Wow, and it's a good day to be an Obsession Motorsports fan, as it's a double podium in Division 3. Massive points haul for Prua's team.
Yeah, they're going to be celebrating after this race. Champagne at Daytona on tap, I think, for that team.
As, yeah, Bumcrack and Daz still going at it late on in this race. Just 2.5 laps to go, and the pace is higher than ever, only 1/10 off their personal quickest laps. As Daz's last race, he showed a lot of pace. I think he eventually got the fastest lap in that race, or close to. And unfortunately, just a couple of incidents, and it saw him way down the order.
Yeah, and
So
we've got
looking
Rex
to
now
redeem
up the
himself.
inside at 8th spot, and he's managed to make the move happen on the Stranger behind us. That Alpha, and oh, the Alpha looks like it might have run a bit wide there through the
It's
exit.
going to be touch and go. Looks like he's got away with it.
He has indeed.
As Stranger looking to get another move done on Rex, hoping to defend his position successfully, but Boybegum waiting in the wings, just hanging behind, seeing if anything happens between these two. He's ready to pounce in and take the positions from them both.
Crikey, it's just so much happening, isn't there?
As they
That's
stay
amazing.
single file. Yeah, I mean, this Division 3 grid, we saw it last season, and it's continuing to deliver like they did last season. I think our 3rd division here at Sector 1 is one of the most exciting racing spectacles we have on offer.
Couldn't agree more, and we've still got the battle going on for 4th spot. It's not a podium position, but Budsy and Killer on the Loose going at it, racing mediums, fresher, and then the softs ahead of him on Budsy in that Porsche. So Porsche versus Supra, who's going to come out on top? This is going to be an interesting one.
So how are the wear rates going for these guys, Budsy and Killer? Is there much difference?
Oh, there is a massive void of a difference going on here at the moment. The racing softs, especially the right rear on the Porsche. Porsche not known for looking after its rear tyres, of course. 50% on the rears at the moment. The left looking a little bit better than the right. And Killer on the Loose, those mediums are fresh as groceries from the supermarket.
Because Killer chucked on the mediums for the last 5 laps, didn't he? So
He did,
yeah, he's
yes.
still got fresh mediums.
That's right, yeah. So it might be quite the battle here. 2 laps to go on the penultimate lap at the moment. And wow, I'm just looking up the field as well. Prua's tyres are absolutely worn. He's on very low fuel as well, but I think he's going to be able to manage to the end. 9 seconds behind him, so... Oh, and that Killer on the Loose, getting on the outside there of Budsy. Budsy taking it back. Oh, what a move there by Budsy to retain the position.
Budsy on an
Crikey.
absolute charge this race. He's had some incredible moves. As Killer isn't going to give up on that position that easily. He's going to be fighting it right until the checkered flag, but there isn't long to go in this one.
No, last lap now, 25th lap out of 25, and Mayer is being brought back into this fight as well, so it's all going off for fourth spot at the moment. Daz behind them, looking a little bit further behind the grid, and we've got Rex as well, who's very low on fuel now, but last lap, will we see some antics? Hope we see nothing too dicey, but crikey, it's been a great race so far. Really has been.
Yeah, absolutely. Rex under a lot of pressure from Boybagum. It's not over yet, but who it is over for now is Frelix as he rounds the final turn. Absolutely incredible drive for the Respawn Esports driver as he comes onto the banking. The checkered flag flies and Frelix takes P1 in this one.
We need to go on towards second place because Carbonboy is about to lose a position to Prua. Is it a fuel issue? Doesn't look like it. He's had a terrible exit. Oh my goodness. Well, I think they might be just going across the line. Teammates, of course, might be just choosing to celebrate by going across the line at the same time.
Oh, let's see what happens. This is going to be an incredible photo when it comes through. These two, they are going side by side across the line. Oh, absolutely incredible.
Spectacle, beautiful.
Budsy takes P4, Killer P5, Bumcrack P6, Daz P7, and Rex and Boybagum almost side by side across the line. Stranger comes home in 10th, and the sole Datsun Racing driver under a lot of pressure from Shizer as they barrel down towards the finish line.
Oh, but he runs out of fuel just before. He's not going to get it. 12th spot for Shizer, and then we've got Black Project, of course, in 13th spot. He'll be coming across the line in about 15 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the kind of race that you want for Black Project. He had issues very early on, which we are yet to have confirmation. Would assume it was some sort of gear issue, such as wheel or pedals or something has not gone quite right for these guys. So.
Yeah, very unfortunate for him. We just saw him in lap 1. Just as they come out into the outfield in lap 1, just take a 90-degree angle into the barrier, and that was kind of game over for him at that point, unfortunately. So not the day that he would have wanted in the Ferrari, the 458, but we've had some great action today, crikey. Division 3 has absolutely performed incredibly well.
So we'll recap on the results for this one. Frelix takes P1. The two Obsession Motorsport drivers of Carbonboy and Prua complete the podium. Budsy in 4th, Killer 5th, Bumcrack 6th, Daz 7th, Rex 8th, Boybagum 9th, Stranger 10th, Gur 11th, Shizer 12th, and Black Project with his troubles finishes the race in P13 for tonight. So guys, chuck your driver of the days down below, and we'll see, we'll count them all up, tally up, and sorry, I almost forgot. It has officially been renamed the Womble, as everyone's been referring to. So who are you guys giving your Womble to? I think I'm going to give my Womble to. I think it's got to go to Budsy. Brilliant drive from Budsy. Some spectacular overtakes. Got a little bit unlucky there, but great stuff from Budsy. He showed the pace, showed the talent, and yeah, absolutely incredible for Budsy. Dobrev gives his driver of the day to Budsy. Who are you giving your driver of the day to, Kung Fu?
Oh, I've been thinking about this one for the last 20 or 30 seconds now, and I mean, we had some great drives all around the grid. Budsy, of course, he had a great qualifying, and he's had a great race overall. Very tricky one. I think mine today has got to go to Frelix. He's had a superior race. He's managed his strategy very well, and of course, a first place finish. So my Womble to Frelix today.
And we're seeing a couple more submissions. Coming in, we see Womble goes to Daz tonight from Karen Unleashed, just giving it to his own driver, typical. Adam gives his to Budsy. Petey Pop says driver of the day, everyone not driving a Supra.
Yeah, well, I think there's some fairness in that, isn't there?
Budsy driver of the day for sure. I mean, yeah, it seems to be pretty unanimous at the moment. Budsy, Dadson says Daz driver of the day. So we've got 2 for Daz and I think all the rest for Budsy. So
Budsy takes it.
Yeah. Brilliant stuff from Budsy. So coming up next, we have Division 1, our premiere event. and I'm looking to every minute of it. So if you haven't already, stay tuned as we'll have a 5-minute intermission. But if you haven't already, make sure to like the video. We're currently sitting at 10 likes. We have 50 concurrent viewers. So, I mean, surely we can do better than
I think we can get
10.
1 or 2 more. Come on, everyone. Hit that like button. Support the stream. And I hope you've all been having a fantastic evening and enjoying. And congratulations to everyone in Division 3.
Yeah, so I'm going to set the target at 50 for tonight. I reckon let's get it to 50 likes for the stream, guys. So just make sure and if you haven't already, click the subscribe button. I already said the like button. Click the subscribe button.
Click it again.
Yeah. well, don't click it again because then that unlikes the video.
Yeah. Mixed messages coming from the commentary box.
Yeah, we've just recently hit 500 subscribers on the channel, so we just got to keep charging on, and every subscriber counts. So yeah, we've already up to 16 likes, so thank you to those 6 people. Make sure to smash it, hit it as many times as you can, guys. Get all the likes in. So yeah, so thank you for helping us with the Division 3 race tonight, Kung Fu. We'll just head to a 5-minute intermission while we set up the Division 1 race.
Absolutely, yes, been my absolute pleasure. So yeah, thank you very much.
Alright, so don't go anywhere, guys. In 5 minutes time, we will have Division 1 action at Daytona in Sector 1. So stay tuned, guys, and we'll catch you in a couple of minutes. Alright everybody, we are back once again, and it looks like all of our Division 1 drivers are lined up, ready to go. We have, it looks like, we're missing 2 drivers by the looks of things. If my calculations are correct, I believe it's Ando and... No, I can't tell who the last one is. And are any of you guys able to help me rack my brain to figure out who the other driver that's missing is?
I unfortunately do not have a driver list in front of me.
I'm just bringing that up now, and I will go through and try and get that info for us to find out who is missing in this lobby.
So after the incredible race that we had in Division 3, and after the brilliant series of events that we had in our Division 1 race last time out, I am looking very forward to what is about to go down in this Division 1 race tonight.
It's going to be fire, especially that Turn 1. Well, maybe not a... I mean, actually, to be fair, Div 3 was incredibly clean through Turn 1 compared to the practice starts we had earlier. So everyone figuring out that Turn 1 not the place to have antics. It's very sensible. I'm just looking here. I think it might be Hellraise, unless I'm getting a name wrong.
That is correct. I do remember seeing something about Hellraiser being unavailable for tonight's event. So thank you, Kung Fu.
My pleasure.
Yes, Mr. GK Turtle.
So I think these drivers should... I think we're just waiting for everyone to ready up actually before we head to qualifying. But just to recap, it is a 10-minute qualifying. Followed by a 25-minute race. We're running a little bit behind schedule tonight, but that's nothing to worry about. So, as soon as Morgan Davey clicks his big red button, it means that we can click our big red button. But until that happens, we aren't racing.
We do need to do a quick lobby reset to make sure that we're at the right time of day, which is can be a little bit tricky sometimes. But
that is exactly what is happening as we speak.
Perfection.
As everybody, while we're waiting for the lobby to reset, just chuck your bold or even well-rounded predictions in the comments section below, the chats, and we'll see what happens. As there's a lot of Dapto talk going on in the chat at the moment from the Dapto Hockey Club and the Dapto Dogs. All right.
I will put in my bold prediction right now. I'm going to put my proverbial money on Mr. GTR. Mr.
GTR?
Yes, he is in the car that carries his namesake, or vice versa. And after I've been in a couple of lobbies with him this week, and he wasn't exactly happy with his round 1 performance. So he's pretty fired up, and a GTR fired up in a GTR is a very dangerous thing.
Absolutely. I've seen very rapid times from GTR, Geesh, Atom, and Lewis. These guys all looking incredible for this race. It could go any way. And I don't think we've had a top flight season as close as it has been so far in ages, actually. I don't think... Oh, maybe... Yeah, Season 5 was still pretty dominated by GTR. So I don't think it goes back to either Season 4 or Season 3 that's the closest we've had like this. So I think everybody's ticked in. And firstly, we'll just read... Oh, no, we haven't got any... Okay, so we've got Karen saying GTR for a podium. Womble saying Womble for driver of the day in Div 1. Young Wakey for a podium. That is a bold one. But he has been rapid in practice. Morgan Davey for the win if he shows up, which it looks like he has showed up. He is readied up. And
I am ready to punch that button.
Push it. Press the big red button.
And
I love that button.
Are we going to see a big competition between the Supras and the GTRs today? Hooncorp versus those others as well. Sorry, again. I'm the new man on...
Respawn?
That's right, I'm the new man on the grid, of course, so I haven't had the experience of the previous seasons as well, but I'll try and keep up with you chaps as we go through the commentary.
It's fine. You're doing a great job so far.
As qualifying begins for these guys, and it's a very long transit time from the pit box out on track, about 20 to 30 seconds depending on how early you get released, and some of these guys still haven't even been released. So as it looks like the first one going to be out on track is Diswood for Brocchio 5 Sim Racing, followed by young Wakey, the young 12-year-old for Kraken Esports. Jeesh in third, Corey Hack fourth on track, Ricky Bobby out there in fifth, GTR 6, Adam 7th, Lewis 8th, Muffin 9th, and Scar, Blindman, and Morgan Davey just making their way out on track as we speak.
Looks like Morgan's choosing to go with the I'm going to run solo strategy for qualifying.
Which isn't a bad strategy. I mean, this competitive Div 1 field, sometimes you don't want to be around people because they're just going to hold you up and slow you down. You won't have the advantage of the slipstream, which in the Subaru may be very important, as we saw in the Division 3 race. But it means that you're not going to be able to fight with anybody and ruin your lap times. It means you'll have clean running and be able to complete your qualifying in peace.
Yeah, when you get your head down, you can start to put in those lap times that you know you can achieve, and at this level, these guys know what they can achieve, so he'll be wanting to get some clean air and run nice and smooth.
I am definitely one of those drivers who likes his own clear piece of racetrack during qualifying. Go away, leave me alone.
Yeah, leave me alone, let me get my head down. I couldn't agree more. Having the cars in front is a distraction.
In practice earlier today, I heard GTR say he's going to be very careful picking who he's behind in qualifying, as he wants to get the best slipstream possible. But at the moment he's sitting behind Ricky Bobby, who was sitting in second in the standings, but had a steward's inquiry, which has dropped him down the order. So might be a good pick for GTR to sit behind him. We'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, it is a Supra.
Yeah, he voiced his concerns about following his teammate Lewis, as the other GTR, he says, doesn't have enough straight line speed to give him the maximum effect on his run. As we look through the pack, as Diswood picks up a penalty, so that's his first lap essentially ruined in the qualifying session. Wakey's going to have a massive slipstream from Woody all the way down the back straight, so Woody might want to get out of the way, or he might be comfortable with giving the young lad, the reigning Division 2 champion, just a bit of extra time.
Yeah, not taking full advantage of the slipstream there, pulling out a little bit out of line of the car in front, but clean through the Le Mans chicane for Wakey, doing well. And we've had an accident there for Corey in third plot, straight into the barrier.
That is not what the Red Mist driver needs.
Oh, the livery designer, Mr. Womble himself, is not going to be happy that Corey's made a mess of the front end of that Supra. That front right wheel is carrying a fair bit of damage.
Yeah, get the paint pens out.
So Wakey to the top of the times, immediately loses out to GTR and Jeesh, who Jeesh on provisional pole early on with a 1:44.6 first flyer. Oh my goodness. That is disgustingly quick. Scar up into P4.
Only 0.1 second ahead is Jeesh ahead of GTR. So that slipstream working out a little bit, but yeah, not much in it.
As
Atom
Jeesh
only
is purple again.
0.1 behind again. Oof.
As it stands at the moment, Wakey has set a really good time for his first flyout, P5 in the top flight, as Morgan Davey sets the time to send him into P9. Corey Hack rounds out the grid with his contact with the wall. As Geesh, after winning last race, his first Sector 1 win, hopes are held high for Geesh, as he's a 10th and a half up coming into the bus stop chicane.
Two drivers that I'm just keeping my eye on at the moment are Captain Muffin and HC Lewis, who are running not quite nose to tail, but are running in front and behind each other, if that makes no sense. They're behind each other on track, so there's only 3/10 between them, but with the way Muffin is wringing the absolute neck of that McLaren, he could be on for slightly better than the P7 he's in at the moment.
Absolutely. As Atom improves to second, pips out GTR.
But geez, setting a 44.1.
Oh my goodness,
Wow.
That is a lap.
Sheesh!
Yeah, sheesh,
Oh
sheesh.
my
What
goodness.
a lap.
I'm just having a look at him, and he just so happens to be right behind his teammate, which there is nothing against it. I actually support teamwork in qualifying, provided you don't go hindering any other drivers in the process, which they are not. So I don't see anything wrong with two teammates working together like this.
That's right, and actually Atom with Ricky Bobby ahead of him, so almost a double slipstream effect here. That's going to help out those respawn guys quite a lot.
To the tune of 0.4 of a second, most definitely.
Yeah, that's right.
As these guys head towards the bus stop chicane now.
What I'm wondering now, are we going to see a 43 today? Because, I mean, we're 0.2 away from it now. It's, I mean, I'd be pretty surprised, but...
Question is Geesh purple? Or is he planning to pit this lap?
GDR has just slammed on the brakes on the back straight before the bus stop. I'm wondering if he's trying to get a hold of someone for a slipstream.
Potentially, I mean, Corey Hack is the driver behind him, who, I mean, unless he's just feeling generous to Corey Hack, as Captain Muffin sets a 44 up into P5.
GDR's a nice enough guy, but generous on a racetrack, not the description I would use.
I wonder if he thought the person behind him was HC Lewis, who is behind those two now, but quite some distance back in the outfield. Maybe, but...
What is certain is that Corey Hack is going to be loving every millisecond that he gets from GTR's toe.
Just quietly, Captain Muffin slotted himself into P5.
Yeah, with a
Great
44.9, incredible stuff for the McLaren CP driver.
And only 7 thousandths behind Scar.
Is this
amazing.
the return of Captain Oh, he's
got
purple as
purple
well.
again.
Hello.
Oh,
He's doing this without a toe as well. This is really impressive driving in the McLaren.
to be fair,
Hello.
that might be his downfall, not having a toe.
Yeah.
That gap is just diminishing. He's still purple as he comes up to the bus stop, but how much of that gap is going to remain when he gets to the finish line? He just needs to ace the bus stop chicane. Oh, that's touch and go.
That's
Very
close.
touch and go.
Captain Muffin,
He's
please
down.
don't become Captain Penalty. Come on, you can do it, mate.
Or Captain Bus Stop if it doesn't turn into a penalty. So, very, very close line through the exit there. All the Div 1 drivers have the skill to take the risk through there. And yeah, it's worth a couple of tenths on the straight by the end of the pit straight if you get that right.
Oh, and he's down 7/10 by the time he came through to the line.
Ah, shows the strength of the slipstream, doesn't it? You've got to have that toe.
Even
GTR,
just
by the way, now in
strength
the
of the
toe.
Supra.
Not sure who that is ahead of him. Is that?
They will get one more lap of qualifying, these guys.
As I think it is Corey.
It is Corey indeed, yeah. So GTR now looking to get a toe from the Supra of Corey. And that could work out quite well from him. He's only 0.1 away from Atom, but Atom and Geesh at the moment. Just amazing job.
As we're riding on board with GTR on his hot lap now, looking over the shoulder of the three-time champion.
Wakey has decided to stop on track, so that will be his qualifying over. Not able to improve. A 45.0 for him, still a very respectable time, and 6th spot in qualifying as it stands.
As Corey Hack is lagging and rubber banding all over the place. As GTR is purple and he has a slipstream. Could we see GTR steal the pole position in the dying moments of this qualifying session? Could we see a 43, dare I say? As
he's dangerously close to it right now. Oh boy.
If he gets a good exit here and then a good slipstream down the rest of the outfield.
Oh, that's touch and go.
Oh.
Let's see. No, he's thrown it all away.
Very close for GTR, but third place, still very respectable, provisionally, of course, at this point.
I guess the big question is here, I know how the Super is off the line. How is a GTR off the line in comparison?
As Ricky Bobby improves to P4, great stuff for Ricky Bobby. Continuing his great form from the first race. As Lewis improves to P9.
Yeah, no bias to our teammate at all, but Ricky Bobby, mate, well done. That's a fantastic effort.
Well
as
done.
GTR takes pole position. Morgan Davey improves to P9. Good stuff for...
Yeah, I think it's an interesting point about the GTR getting away from the Super. The Super obviously not having the same four-wheel drive capability as the GTR, so could be quite an interesting race start here, and GTR is in the right position. I believe third spot starts on the inside, so he shouldn't be in any trouble from Ricky Bobby, who he's starting on the grid side by side with.
Yeah, so out of the top 5, GTR, the only man not in a Supra, he's actually in a GTR. So great stuff from GTR, and this is how they will line up for the next 25 laps. Geesh on pole, Adam in second. It's a respawn front row lockout. GTR just behind them with Ricky Bobby completing the second row on the grid. Scar and Captain Muffin, 5th and 6th respectively. 7th is Corey Hack. 8th is the young Wakey. 9th is Morgan Davey. 10th is Lewis. 11th is Woody. And rounding out the grid is Blind Man for Dadson Racing. So, that was a very intense qualifying session. We could see some storylines up and down the grid tonight. And, I'm looking forward to the next 25 laps, that's for sure. Putting your predictions for the race down below. We have a lot of thanks going across the group. We see Prua saying, Ricky Bobby, ! Nice work, GTR, says Troy. Womble commending Corey, and Stranger commending GTR as well. So, wow, that was just an incredible qualifying session. Geesh takes his first pole of the season, and I believe, is it his first pole of his Sector 1 career? I can't quite recall. First top flight pole position that would be, as he got the pole position at Autopolis last season in Division 2.
I was just thinking I'm pretty sure he did pip Distinct Andrew at one stage or another.
Can we get a stat man into the chat to confirm or deny that?
I am most definitely not a stat man. And my memory over a long distance can be somewhat questionable. But if anyone's happy to prove me wrong, I am more than happy.
I think
sure
you are
someone
right,
out there
though.
with an Excel spreadsheet.
I do have, as you said, there is just a slight nibbling at the back of my brain that's saying Geesh has got a pole position last season in the top flight. But I don't know when. It might have, was it Road Atlanta? Because he was very competitive at Road Atlanta. Well, we'll have to say, Womble says, who is this Atom bloke? I don't know, some bloke from New Zealand. I'm not too sure, actually.
Anyway, gentlemen, should we get these drivers underway? Because I'm pretty sure they are chomping at the bit right now.
I
Right.
think that is an absolutely incredible idea, Carbonboy.
Let's hit that red button. And
I
8
love
seconds to
that
the
red
final.
button.
It's
We
beautiful.
might need to replace one. We might have to budget for a new one because it's starting to get a little bit worn out after 7 seasons.
It has been replaced recently. It was broken several times last season.
And it's
Don't
already
ask.
looking like that? How long ago was it
Yeah.
replaced?
I think it was about round 3, round 4 last season.
Okay, so it's still been a while.
It was when, let's just say, GT7 did GT7 things.
As the lights
Yes,
are
sir.
all on and they're out and away we go for Division 1. Oh, there's a massive contact off the line as these guys get going and they're 3-4 wide heading down to the first turn. GTR gets the jump over Geesh and GTR holds the lead of the race into the first turn. Is there any contact? Oh,
Woody's
contact!
big contact!
Oh boy! That's
Oh,
huge
they're
drama.
everywhere.
Ricky Bobby gone as well. Oh no! That's terrible for Ricky Bobby and Diswood. Terrible start to the race. And it looks like Corey
Oh,
Hack is also
Muffin as well.
involved in it. Oh, that's
Oh,
a
dear,
terrible
dear.
start.
Oh, and more contact. Captain Muffin and HC Lewis. All those three getting involved in the pile-up at turn 1. Crikey.
How many cars were involved in that pile?
4 or 5. We'll have a look on the Next Level Racing Action replay to find out for sure. But there's a lot to unpack here. As they came down into there, it looked like there was a little bit of contact that sent Woody wide and Captain Muffin, and Ricky Bobby got turned in a separate incident altogether. So, it's
So
not
there
great.
was more than 3 drivers involved at turn 1.
Yeah, definitely more than 3.
I am
Yeah.
calling a red flag.
I think that's a good call. I think nearly every
Okay.
driver underneath the 5th position there was involved in some sort of contact.
Okay. So, the first race start did not go to plan. So now we will have to reset the grid, and we will continue with the second race start. So I think we're going to go for a quick intermission, and if it isn't resolved by then, we'll let you know. So sorry for the inconvenience, everybody, but we will go for a quick intermission. So we'll catch you guys shortly.
looking at
All
it.
right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back after the turn 1 incident, which pulled out the red flag. It looks like everyone's ready to go, so we're about to get this race back underway. 25 laps to go. Hopefully these drivers can keep it more clean than that first start. Hopefully they will have all got their braking indicators now after that extremely chaotic turn 1. But we'll see what happens. I think Carbonboy's ready to push that big red button, which it's getting a lot more wear than it normally would tonight.
Yeah, look, I don't like to push it more than once in a night, so hopefully everybody can behave themselves at turn 1 this time round.
Let's hope so. Okay, as these drivers all lined up on the grid and waiting. 25 laps to go. Jish on pole position, the second time for tonight. 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5 lights. And they're gone and away they go. And GTR gets a monster start once again. A little bit of contact with Adam there, but even better start than the first time. Incredible stuff from GTR. Gets a massive jump off the line. And can they keep it clean the second time round? It looks like a little bit of push and shove, but for the most part, these guys hold it. So brilliant stuff for these guys. Holding it clean. Oh no! Oh, huge contact! Oh no! There's cars everywhere. And it looks like Morgan Davey is just sitting off the back of the pack. So I think he's hit the pit wall. But for the most part, I think it's all clean for now. I mean, he's sitting a second off the back.
He has a fair bit of damage to his front aero and front left wheel. And he's also given the old headlights a bit of a flash to the guys in front of him. So I'm not sure who exactly is the target of that. But I'm going to leave
like
that
they've
for
escaped with it for now.
I'm going to leave that for the stewards. And someone's
yellow
gone around onto the
flags.
back straight.
Oh, that's Adam.
That is Adam.
Adam's gone. Oh no.
Oh no, that is massive. He's got front aero, both front wheels, engine damage.
Oh, he is going to be absolutely spitting in the cockpit at the moment because that is huge damage.
As Jish is right up under the rear wing of GTR at the moment. As they come through the bus stop, GTR with a much better line through there. Pulls a 5/10 gap, but GTR, he's under a lot of pressure from Jish now. As these guys trying to keep it single file. We'll see if any moves take place as Jish has a lot of overspeed compared to GTR. 2 tenths, 1.5 tenths, 1 tenth. He tries around the outside, is ahead at the start-finish line, and GTR loses the position to start the second lap.
Yeah, GTR, the Supra is showing its speed on the back straight there, and of course the slipstream helping out as well, and a bit of action in 4th and 5th spot through turn 1 as well. Scar trying to defend his position.
Just quietly, one of the big movers in the pack, Corey Hack, up to P4.
And Captain Muffin into P3.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff from those two. Looks like they've just picked their way through the pack at the expense of Scar and Ricky Bobby. And Lewis as well. Lewis was up there, or was he 7th?
No, Lewis was a little bit further down the pack. He's actually made up a few positions.
So good job for Lewis to start off this one. As he's under a lot of pressure from Wakey, actually. The young Wakey.
Yeah, the Mercedes of Blind Man behind them. He's going to be looking to take advantage, but he'll get a slipstream down the outfield, which they do come on to now. Everyone obviously going purple at this point, and Mr. Wood behind them in 10th spot, picking up a 0.5 penalty.
As
GDR's
it looks like
made his way back into the lead.
Yeah, it looks like Wakey, he pulls out of the slipstream of Lewis. Is he able to get the move done before the bus stop? Yes, he is, as he breezes by Lewis.
GTR on the exit of Le Mans chicane there, getting very sideways in both directions, but car control very evident. He's going to be under pressure once again from Jish. 0.2 is the gap, 0.15, 0.1, and Jish pulls out to the outside. Here we go again.
Could see a recurring theme throughout this race between Jish and GTR. Two masters of their craft.
I can just imagine the curse words that are coming from underneath the helmet of GDR right now. Just not being able to do anything and just having to watch that Supra just glide on past.
He just has to bide his time, and it'll all repeat itself once again if he can stay on the back of Jeech through the infield, which it looks like the GTR has actually got a lot of extra grip.
Oh! GTR!
Oh!
Oh!
Sideways, but holds it. Great car control again. He's pushing that GTR to the absolute limit here.
Looks like Immortals do make mistakes, as GTR, the 3-time Sector 1 champion, having a massive oversteer moment. We'll have a look if we can catch that on the Next Level Racing Action replay. It looked like he just lit up the throttle a little too early, caught the exit curb, and a massive slide she was able to catch. And now just sitting inside of slipstream range of Jeech.
Whoa. Fireworks again at the start of Div 1, but the right kind of fireworks this time, I think, everyone.
Yeah, as Scar goes purple, he is currently the holder of the fastest lap on the last time round. As Ricky Bobby seems to have found his way past Corey Hackers. We're missing someone, I feel. No, maybe not. I felt like we were missing somebody. Maybe it was just Ricky Bobby and Corey Hack switching positions, as we have a massive battle between Wakey, Lewis, and Blind Man kicking off as they cross the start-finish line. Three-way battle for 7th, sorry. As Wakey sets the quickest lap of the race, 44.7.
Great pace from him. They do go side by side into turn 1. Ricky Bobby gets a little bit sideways. That's going to open up the next corner for Wakey. He's got a good run there and contact.
Oh, this is going to get a little bit.
A little bit spicy.
I think Ricky Bobby just needs to make that car as chubby as possible.
Oh. Okay, Corey Hack lagging off the track. I thought he had made a big mistake.
Very close stuff. The infield proving to be the place of action at the moment. Blind Man and Lewis are just sort of looking on at the fight and sort of, I think, thanking their blessings at the moment that they're not involved in too much scrapping, but obviously they want to get up a few positions now.
Absolutely. It looks like Ricky Bobby putting pressure on Sky. Looks like he's made a bit of a mistake, dropped off the back of Captain Muffin at the moment.
Back at the top of the field, Sector 2, purple for GTR. He's still got slipstream range to Jeech, but the gap is 0.7 now.
How much was GTR purple? Because I'm riding on board Captain Muffin at the moment. He was also purple.
Ooh, I think it was about
7 tenths.
purple.
Oh
yeah, okay,
my
that's,
goodness.
That's a bit more than Muffin.
Just a tad, yeah.
Let's see GTR as he rounds the final corner in pursuit of Jeech. Is it going to be a fastest lap? We'll see. It is by only 2 tenths though.
Not much. Across the line, Scar has got himself ahead on the inside of Ricky Bobby.
He was defending the position. Ricky Bobby has been pressuring Scar for about the last lap and a half.
He did get ahead of him on the outfield then, but Scar has taken that back in turn 1. Great move to take that position back.
As they round the second hairpin on the circuit. And it looks like Captain Muffin is skipping away from the two behind. It looks like the McLaren is a very strong car in the right hands.
Yeah, and as it's got slipstream, it definitely removes that deficit it has in the top speed. McLaren not always the fastest car around, as we've seen in qualifying. And just a quick note to the back of the field, Atom, he is making up a little bit of time on Morgan Davey, but not a lot at this stage.
Just on that, it's a bit early for a tyre and fuel update at this stage. But just as a little tidbit of information, there's currently 2 drivers in the field who are not on the racing softs.
That is correct.
One of them is Mr. Morgan Davies. And the other one is HC Lewis.
That's interesting. Lewis is doing a brilliant job on the mediums in P8.
So with the minimum tyre requirements, he's choosing, obviously, I'm guessing, choosing to get the required mediums out of the way as early as possible. And at the end of lap 5, I'm actually kind of curious to see whether he's going to come into the pits right now and switch on to the softs.
Yeah, he's at half fuel.
He does.
He
He does.
Yes.
There we go.
Very interesting. Well, he'll be running fast on the racing softs, and at 50% fuel, the car will be weighing a lot less.
Wait, what? He's used 46% of fuel in 5 laps. Wow, that
Yeah.
GTR is thirsty.
Yeah,
Oof.
it is. He'll have to fuel up a little bit, I think, for this next stint. And we were talking in Division 3 about the possibility of a one-stop in Div 1. I don't think Lenocis remind me. I don't think we saw that in Div 3 at one stop. Trying to recall now.
We saw Stranger and... No, it was just Stranger, I believe.
Yeah, just one of the runners, yeah.
I did my own personal testing on a one-stop versus a two-stop, and you know, don't take this as gospel, but I actually found the two-stop to be about 25 to 35 seconds quicker than a single stop.
Yeah, I mean, running 2 sets of softs and shortening the medium stint would definitely be a faster strategy overall, I think.
And also how slow I had to drive to save the fuel to get the laps out of the Supra.
Of course. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be many cars that could make a one-stop happen in a reasonable amount of time in terms of the race time, overall race time. It might be faster, you know, fast on an individual stint, but overall in the race, probably not going to work out for them. So, yeah, what do we think, everyone? 2 stops for most of these guys in Div 1?
As GTR goes purple, 144.4 in race trim. Okay, GTR.
Oh, and Jeesh just got sideways
Oh,
in
Jeesh!
turn 2 there. He's hit the wall.
Oh
he
dear, what's happened there?
He has gotten away with just a few little scrapes, no damage to the car.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll see if we can catch that on the next level racing action replay. As they came through the first turn, it looked like, yeah, he just got all stuck up on that curb there and found himself on the inside wall. Not great for Jeesh, finds himself 3 seconds away from GTR in a GTR.
I don't have any personal experience myself, but I have been told that that GTR is not the greatest when you put it into top gear. It just kind of stops. So
Also,
the Supra that just keeps going may have the advantage.
yeah. Something else with GTR's pick is that a couple of updates ago, the 2013 GTR model was the far superior car. However, GTR, and I believe Lewis as well, are both in the 2018 GTR.
That is interesting. I always found the 2018, when I've driven it, not in these conditions of course, but found it to be lesser of a vehicle than the older one, but the updates obviously changing that around a bit. And I just make a note to what Carbon was saying before in terms of the Supra's top speed. GTR, in the GTR, only really being able to hover around 261-2-ish kilometers an hour, whereas Jeesh in the Supra was hitting 268 and rising by the end of the pit straight towards the Le Mans chicane entry. So big difference in top speed.
Absolutely. I mean, especially without a slipstream, I mean, that's like 15, 16 kilometers an hour. That's like DRS, essentially.
Yeah,
that's a lot of overspeed Jeesh has over GTR. But that gap is just opening up more and more. GTR gets his head down and puts in the laps. That's what GTR does best. His consistency is the best, or some of the best we've ever seen. Potentially is the best.
Now, before the YouTube chat gets a little bit grumpy at me, I better wade in with a tyre and fuel update.
Absolutely.
So, up front, GTR is looking fairly healthy on the front tyres and on the left rear, but as we know, this track absolutely murders the right-hand rear, which is at about 50% compared to the other 3 tyres at about 15% wear. And he is sitting bang on a quarter a tank of fuel, which Geesh behind him, identical for fuel, slightly more wear on that right-hand rear tyre. A little bit further down the road, Muffin is, again, identical on fuel, doing a little bit better on wear for that right-hand rear. He's hovering around the 50% mark. Scar, near on identical to Muffin. Ricky Bobby, and this is, I'm looking down the field, and okay, I get to Diswood in P8 before it's no longer a carbon copy of what's in front of him. He is just over a quarter tank of fuel and about 30% wear on that right-hand rear. Then we've got Blind Man behind him, who's probably on about 30% fuel, with about 55% wear on that right-hand rear. Atom, who is slowly but surely making up ground. He has about 30% of fuel in the tank, 60% wear on that right rear. Lewis is looking fantastic for fuel. He's got 3/4 of a tank, having already done a pit stop to change off those mediums. And his racing softs are looking still pretty good with about 5% wear. Finally, Morgan Davies, who appears to have made a pit stop as well. He was also on the mediums. He's now on the racing softs with 3/4 of a tank of fuel and, well, next to no wear on those tyres.
Yeah, because he's only done that stop one lap earlier than when we're picking up on him now, Morgan Davey. But in the case of Woody, it seems like the save for the BRZ is somewhat working. There is a marginal save compared to the cars in front of him, as GTR is the first of the front runners to blink. Pits with 9% in the tank. Geesh goes around again. So does Muffin, so does Scar, Ricky Bobby. They all go around again. It looks like Geesh is the only one. I mean, GTR, I should say, is the only one who has peeled into the pits on this time round.
Yeah, it's interesting for Geesh. His right rear is looking very sketchy at this point. Probably around, would you say, about 20% maximum at the moment for that. So, but he'll have to pit this lap because he's low on fuel. And there's another note actually for D Wood as well, because you know we've seen this in the past, and I've experienced it myself with the BRZ. You know, you can get away with some more tire life, but the fuel is what ends up catching you out in the end of the day. So the BRZ does have that advantage with the tires, but it's not going to equate into a longer run. And we do have a yellow flag, and it is Ricky Bobby.
Oh no!
He's got damage on the right front. Oh no!
As he gets overtaken by Diswood as well. Oh, so what's happened there? Not too sure. The yellow flags came out. Maybe a bit of contact with someone. So he does have damage, does he?
He does. So he's got damage to the right front tyre and the splitter. It's gone now, but I think that's going to have burnt up his tyres a bit. He'll be looking to come into the pits, I think, this lap based on his fuel. And staring down the bumper of D Wood at the moment. Not quite sure what happened there. I just caught the end of it. He did end up on the right-hand side of the track and right damage. So maybe something on the exit just before the outfield, and he just clipped the grass on the left and went for a spin. It's Geesh, Scar,
running
and
on
Muffin
fumes.
and Wakey going into the pit. Zero fuel for Geesh. Yeah, running it to the limit.
How about Wakey? In his second top flight race, currently sitting P4 as he comes into the pits. As Woody goes around again, using the save of the BRZ to his advantage. Could he potentially be doing the one stop?
He might be, but I think to my point earlier, the fuel requirements still the BRZ are similar enough to these other cars that you're not going to get away with having too much tyre life. And if you're coming into the pits, you might as well switch the tyres as well. I wouldn't say his lap times are fast enough at this point to... Not that they have to be on a one stop, but I would say that he's probably going to be coming in for a two stop as well, despite the BRZ's advantage.
For Diswood to do a single stop, he was going to have to crank out 14 laps out of a tank because he is running on fumes right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's our answer.
But that does provisionally put Atom up into P2. So,
he's not far off running on fumes, and that right-hand rear tire is really hating him right now. So I think we'll be seeing him in very, very shortly.
Yeah, the two-stopper here definitely is. Well, I don't want to say definitely, but it's definitely seeming like the fastest strategy here today, and we saw that in Div 3, and we see that in Div 1 today. Similar situation for Blind Man, who's behind Atom at the moment. Blind Man has not pitted yet, I believe, so...
No, he is... yeah, he's on fumes. If he does not pull into the pits now, which he does, I was going to say, if he doesn't, he is definitely going to run out of fuel.
So GTR should inherit the lead from these guys.
Most definitely he will.
Right, but we do have GTR ahead on track of Geesh. Geesh has got more fuel in the tank at the moment, and GTR's been out for an extra lap, but he's down up to about 75% of his fuel already. I'm not sure if he took less fuel in that pit stop or if it's just the GTR being hungry.
We'll have to see what the strategy unfolds to be between GTR and Geesh. What tyres are these guys on, by the way, for their middle stint?
Both GTR and Geesh are on the racing softs.
Ooh.
The highest placed driver on the mediums is Corey Hack in P4 at this point.
Good job to Corey Hack.
Indeed.
And the other driver on the mediums happens to be Ricky Bobby, who's just had a little bit of a touch from behind from Blind Man, who's also on the mediums. And Diswood in P11, and that's it for the medium-tired drivers.
So we do have a race for 4th place at the moment. Captain Muffin putting a lot of pressure on the back of Corey, so the medium running Corey, under a lot of pressure from the racing soft running Captain Muffin. Maybe a little bump drafting going on there actually between the two.
I think that might be Muffin needing or wanting the slipstream of a Supra,
Yes.
and just giving Corey a little bit of a, hurry up, I'll push you up to the next guy because you'll take me with you.
Of course, and he's got another Supra behind him in VTX Scar, who's gaining quickly. It looks like he's going to try for the outside, tries for the inside. No, the door is shut by Captain Muffin in the McLaren.
Yep, that door was well and truly shut.
It was indeed.
As he chucks it down the inside anyway. Can he get it pulled up? Oh no, Captain Muffin holds the position.
Oh, there's a big tyre barrier there, which I've found that a couple of times in practice. You do not want to hit that.
That is almost guaranteed engine damage if you go into that tyre barrier. And it does sometimes appear a little bit closer. You do have to cut the inside of that turn 1 and get as close to it as possible to maximize your exit, depending on how you attack the corner. But yeah, it can be quite scary sometimes. These Div 1
How
drivers
close
though, not blinking though.
do you want to get?
Well, that's exactly right. Yeah,
As
how much
Captain
risk are you
Muffin
willing to
gets
take?
past Corey Hack. Wow, that came out of nowhere from Captain Muffin.
Yeah, the medium's just not able to provide the grip that's required through the infield.
As we'll
And,
have a look on the Next Level Racing Action replay at that one. As he just got him on the exit there. That's looks like Corey Hack just ran a little bit wide, and Muffin capitalised on a poor exit and took the position.
Scar wants to follow Captain Muffin around Corey Hack here, coming towards the bus stop. He's...
Oh, he goes for it! Oh my goodness! What a move!
Wow!
Oh my! That is probably the move of the season from Scar.
And
Oh
here's
my goodness!
Here's young Wacky coming to join the party, saying, "Hello, boys. I wouldn't mind a piece of this."
That's right, yeah, because that amazing move by Scar has compromised Corey a little bit. Though the overspeed happening, they're going to go 3 wide into turn 1, potentially.
Alrighty, boys, behavior. Yep. Wacky pulls out of that. Smart man.
Very smart move. He knows that he might be able to sneak up the inside of Corey there. Wakey, of course, on the racing soft tyres, so he'll have more grip and bide his time until he gets a good chance in the infield.
As I think we have a little bit of breathing room at the moment. Oh, actually, no. Hold that thought, as Wakey is a... Oh, I thought he went side by side with Corey then. But I think we have time to check back on the next level racing action replay at that incredible move from Scar into the bus stop chicane. As he was so far behind, and then he just committed to the move, and Corey Hack got left with his pants down. Oh my goodness.
Quite literally, and he probably didn't even see it coming, but one of them was going to have to brake later, and the racing softs of Scar just proving to have the grip that Corey is lacking at the moment.
Yeah, I mean...
Just keep your eye on Mr. Muffin in P4 here. He's slowly bringing that gap to HC Lewis down.
Yeah.
And he's looking much better for fuel and tyres than Lewis is, so he may get him on an outright pace before another
Lewis
pit stop.
Came in off the medium tyre in 8th position and is currently sitting in 3rd. So if he's able to limit the amount of positions lost in this middle stint, he's going to have as we see in the background, that's Wakey going... Oh no. Yes, it's Wakey going for a move on Corey Hack, and he gets it done well and truly before the quarter. So great stuff from the young driver. The only driver in our Division 1 paddock sporting the yellow banner, signifying that he is the reigning champion of his respective division last season.
Oh, Muffin down the inside. Oh, down the inside of HC Lewis at turn 2, and Lewis is not happy with that. There's a lot of headlight flashing going on there.
A little bit of bumpy bump.
Is this going to backfire for Muffin though, because he's got no slipstream now? I mean, we know the GTR is not exactly great on top speed, but the Supra of Scar is looking dangerous behind both of them.
We have a massive battle brewing. As I see sunlight. If you look on the horizon, there's a little bit of sunlight, and it's starting to become daylight conditions about 30 minutes into this one.
HC Lewis, he's got the slipstream. Scar's got the slipstream of Lewis. A little bit further back though. The gap is getting closer between these two now as they come up towards the bus stop chicane. Will there be a move? Will there be a lunge by Lewis? No, backs out of it. Very sensible. That was, I think he was tempted.
He's a man after my own heart. He will look at a corner like that and simply say, nope.
Yep. Too right. Scar taking the opposite philosophy at the moment with that amazing move. I'm still thinking about it. It's just a great send. Previous laps, and he goes sideways now. He's on the outside of the pit straight, and Lewis does come in. Lewis does come into the pit stop. He's on 9% fuel, so...
Corey Hack in as well, off the medium tyre.
Oh, and Scar has done another send.
Goodness!
He's gone deep though.
Oh, switchback by Captain Muffin. Great stuff. This is some good racing from Scar and Muffin.
Scar is on a mission right now, and Muffin doesn't want to give him an inch, goes wide.
I think contact! Woo-hoo-hoo.
Play nice, gentlemen, come on.
Captain Muffin. That is I mean, it's not really a commentator's curse. Oh my goodness! Scar! Oh my! Scar! Contact! Oh! As young Wakey. Oh, these guys battling for it. Scar making some absolutely incredible dive bombs. Oh.
Look, I'm not going to make any comment on that situation. I'm going to leave that up to team owners and any stewards reports that may be submitted. I'm going to leave that well alone.
Well, we'll have a look at the next level racing action replay, see what just happened as they came into turn 5. And it looked like, Scar went really deep under brakes, and Captain Muffin tried to get the switchback, but with the space, it was there, but Scar did a really good job at parking his car where he needed to. And
I think that kicked off a couple of corners earlier at turn 2 because after turn 2 there was a lot of headlight flashing going on.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was clearly a bit of a send of sorts by Muffin early. Oh, yeah, just seeing that on the replay as well. It's there's some action brewing between those two, and I'd like to make a quick note about Atom's position at the moment. I'd love your opinion, both of you chaps, but he's seems to be trying to run a little bit longer with these racing softs.
he
Up
should
in
be
the
able to
sixth
do
at
the
the moment.
one stop.
That's
He
right.
pit on lap 12 to 13 off the medium tyre, so he should be able to go all the way. Is it the strategy though?
A lap 11 he would have pitted.
Oh yes, sorry, I'm just
That's right.
dyslexic.
Well, the thing is now, he's got a fast-running HC Lewis. He's 24 seconds behind him, HC Lewis is of Atom, but he's got a full tank of fuel and racing softs that are very, very fresh.
Well,
so is it going to be a little competition between the two?
Has he run the mediums is the question.
That is
Because
a good question, actually.
that is the required. It is one of the 2 required compounds.
Did he start on the
Pre-
mediums?
I honestly don't know off the top of my head, but presuming that he has, and if he doesn't lose it going onto the
Yeah,
the
that's
oval
right,
section,
yeah.
come on, Adam, work with us here, mate.
Wow, that is a great sunrise.
He would need to conserve a little more fuel than he's currently doing, I think, like shifting a little bit shorter. But then again, he's a Div 1 driver, I'm a Div 3 driver, so he probably knows a lot more than I do.
Oh, that's going to be
Very
touch and go
wide,
for a
that's
penalty.
Penalty, I think, almost certainly.
No, looks
The
like he's got
racing
away with
gods
it.
are with Atom right now. Maybe this says something
Wow.
about his strategy. I mean, I'm just looking at the rate that he's churning through his fuel. He might have just considered trying the one stop. Might have turned up that car again because he's going full revs in 6th gear right now. And if he does that, he might not make it. But there's only 7 laps left in this race. Well, 8 technically, including this one that he's on. So he
Just
could
quietly,
just
back
make
up the
it.
front, Geesh is 6/10 behind GDR.
Oh, when did
wow,
that happen?
We need to get on board with that right away.
Oh,
Just
dear.
quietly, guys.
Yeah.
And Jeesh has also gone purple with a 44.3.
So GTR, for his last, since his pit stop, he's run 45 flat, 45.5, 44.9, 45 flat, 45 flat, 45.7, 45.1. Whereas
Sheesh.
has run since his pit stop 45 flat, 44.7, 44.3, which is currently purple, 44.4, 44.9. So he
Incredible
has
pace from
been
Jeesh.
making massive
well-
inroads into GDR.
Oh, and on top of that, GTR is running much lower on fuel. G's running at about 25% with slightly worse tyres, but only just. It's the fuel that matters at the moment, I think.
Yeah, you're right. There's nothing in it in tyres, but there's an 1/8 of a tank in fuel in it.
Both these drivers need to come in for their medium stop, I believe.
Yes.
That might be happening in the next few laps, but Geesh will want to try and extend the soft stint as much as possible. The fewer laps you do on the mediums, obviously, the better. What would we say about maybe 1 second slower a lap for the mediums? Could be a little bit more than that.
Yeah, usually
Thereabouts,
about
yeah.
1.1 or so seconds.
Yeah, as we do have GTR going 0.144 faster in the first sector than anyone else on track. Purple for him in Sector 1, so he's trying to pull out the pace now. I think that's indicative of him looking to come in this lap.
Yeah,
What's
it would be
left in
this
the
lap or the
tank?
next, surely.
I think so. I mean, he is running on fumes at this point. He's 0.2 up now. Another purple sector for him.
He has no slipstream though, so it's all going to be thrown away on the big straights, and Jeesh is going to charge back through with the straight line speed that
He-
Supra has.
keep the camera on those guys, but just an update from a little further back. Scar has made his way past Captain Muffin to pick up the P3. And young Wakey is currently sitting in P5.
Yeah, Wakey's fallen off of the back of those two a little bit, but... Oh, a 0.5 second penalty for GTR. He's run wide at the exit of the chicane, the Le Mans chicane, and that is going to cost him coming out of the track. I'm sure he's going to pit here, so might not cost him too much. Yeah, there it is. Penalty served, and in he comes for his pit stop. Jeesh, taking the lead of this race. 6 laps to go.
He had to pit. He has absolutely no fuel.
Running on fumes. That cannot be good for the engine.
No.
I just have that song running on empty running through my head right now.
Oh, it's in my head as well now. That's good stuff. A great battle between Jeesh and GTR today. It's back and forth strategy, but maybe this extended stint here by Jeesh is going to be the difference between second place and first place. Let's see what happens.
What's the tyres difference between Muffin and Wakey?
Well, at the moment, it's reasonably equal. The fronts for Wakey are definitely a little less healthy. The left's actually taking a bit of a beating as well. The rear tyres about the same. It's just a little difference in the front. But I think the main difference here is the, probably, what would you say, about 3% difference in fuel. Captain Muffin just a little bit lower on fuel than Wakey, behind in 4th spot.
And they are on the same tyre, yeah?
They are both on the soft tyre, that's correct.
Alright. As 1 second separates these two. Scar's jumped a little bit away from Captain Muffin at the moment.
The GTR is out now on the mediums, taking a healthy dose of fuel. Already getting squiggly throughout the last part of the infield, so he's pushing this GTR as hard as he can. Atom actually ahead of him, and I think, just a little update on Atom, I think he is going to be running to the end. I mean, unless he hasn't run the mediums, which he must have at the start, and maybe that's why he was involved in a little bit of contact early on, the speed difference between the soft runners and him on the mediums, but that's the only situation I can imagine. Otherwise he should be using full fuel, which I don't think I think he's running the car lean at the moment. Jeesh into the pits.
Scar in as well. Captain Muffin follows. Wakey in as well. Lap 20 seems to be the trigger for a lot of these drivers.
And Atom goes past the pit lane entry.
Oh, so this is
5 laps to
interesting.
go. He's down to about 15% fuel. Can he do 3% per lap?
Oh.
That is a very lean mix for a Supra. He's shifting at 50% at the moment, so he is putting absolutely everything. He's probably running a lean fuel map and short shifting, hoping that the difference is going to be worth it. Wow. But
Jeesh
is
comes
behind,
out 4 seconds. 4 seconds. That's a massive jump over GTR.
And they both have the same amount of fuel in the tank.
Wow.
Same tyres, same fuel load. Game on.
Can GTR push for his first win of the season? Or can GTR take his second? I mean, Jeesh take his second?
Is going to come down to the wire, and they've got a very lean fuel running Atom 4.3 seconds up the road to contend with as well.
And also, Wakey has made his way past Captain Muffin.
Oh, indeed.
So young Wakey in his second top flight race, sitting P5. Incredible stuff from the young boy.
Both of them on the same strategy at the end, racing mediums with about half a tank of fuel, so not a lot of difference in strategy. Might just come down to who's got the slipstream at the end between these two. The Supra obviously faster in a straight line, but Captain Muffin will be looking to take maximum advantage of that. Getting the slipstream down towards the Le Mans chicane they come. Only 0.25 the gap.
Not a lot of scream time for these guys at the back of the grid, Morgan, Davey and Blindman. But these guys have been going hammer and tongs at it all race long.
Atom is into the pits.
Oh, Atom, yeah. So he did not take the mediums at the start. Almost certainly we'll see him come out on mediums with a drop of fuel, so he will drop back in the grid.
How far back is the question?
Well, I'm just trying to figure that out now. I think the pit stop here loss is around 25
Oh,
seconds.
GTR off! Oh dear.
A little more than that.
A little more than that, yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
so
a pit with
GTR
just tyres is around the transit time with the tyres is about 30, 35?
Yeah, okay, yeah. So 35 seconds is going to drop Atom down towards 10th spot, but he's made up a couple of
Sixth
spots.
position. Oh my goodness. Atom.
Wow. Okay. Commentators
That's a hell of a comeback.
That's amazing. Yeah, he was 20 seconds behind on lap 1, and now here he is in 6th spot. Jumping
Only
Lewis.
23 seconds behind the leader.
Yeah.
But he's only 1.7 seconds in front of a soft-tired running Lewis.
Yeah, that's right.
It's going to be tight. Sister teams respawn in Hooncorp. Atom and Lewis actually sharing the same tag in their name, so
so I think they'll be happy to drive at maximum pace around each other. No loss love between them. If something does happen, let's hope it does not. But yeah, Atom is on pace at the moment, but the mediums, yeah, he's going to struggle in the infield, I think, and Lewis will have the run on him. The GTR obviously proving a bit of a handful out of the corners, I think.
yeah, you just see this time loss on the straights. Lewis already out. It was 1.3 coming onto the straight, now out to 1.6.
Yeah,
1.7.
Whoa. HC Lewis running in the low 46s, 46 flat for his 20th lap, 21st lap at 45.9. And Atom, we'll see him come across the line and under the next lap. He's just on his out lap right now. 53 there, so that's his out lap. Be interesting to see what his times are. He was setting 45s very consistently throughout that long, soft stint. So that's what's helped bring him back up into contention.
Absolutely. And he is on a charge for Muffin as well. That gap, it dropped about half a second on that last lap, and it is dropping. So could Captain Muffin potentially lose out on even another position here? Was in P3, now in P5. And look at this, young Wakey P4. Oh my goodness.
He's had a fantastic day out at Daytona. He's only 2 seconds off the back of Scar as well, both on the same strategy. He's out of slipstream range though at the moment.
But could we see a charge from young Wakey for a podium? A first Sector 1 top flight podium. I mean, 3 laps or 2.5 laps to go. Let's see what happens. Anything can happen. This is motorsport.
At the moment, I'm just keeping my eye on Atom because he's got a second behind to HC Lewis, who's 1.4 in front of Ricky Bobby, who is 8/10 in front of Corey Hack.
Oh, wow.
So it's getting pretty tight down the bottom as well.
Well, there you have mid-pack. There's 4 cars in a row, all potentially catching up to a medium-running Atom. And a 0.5 second penalty for Lewis. That is going to cost him.
Oh, that hurts at this stage of the race. That hurts.
Does, and the soft-running Ricky Bobby behind is going to be looking fierce. He's getting closer. 0.6 the gap. 0.5, 0.3. He's alongside into turn 1. Lewis can't do anything.
See ya.
Such a costly half-second penalty that. And Ricky Bobby moves himself up into P7. Eyes for Atom.
Atom, though, 2.3 second gap now. He's getting some more breathing room on these mediums. Is it working out? We're on the 24th lap. 2 laps to go.
Oh! Lewis almost gets it done on Ricky Bobby, but runs out of grip. Oh. Just 2 laps to go.
Yeah. And right behind them, Corey is looking fierce. He's on the softs as well. Oh, HC Lewis not pulling any punches. The elbows are out between 7th, 8th and 9th spot.
Yeah, Lewis ran a little bit wide there. It sort of invited Corey Hack to go for a move, but Corey, being sensible, didn't rush to any conclusions.
I would also like to low-key say that back at the top, the gap has gone from 4 seconds to 4.7 and now to 3.5 between Geesh and GTR. So I don't know if GTR can do enough in 2 laps to catch up with that deficit. They're both on the same medium strategy at the end, and Geesh has a slight fuel advantage as well, but the gap has reduced somewhat.
So Lewis is right up under the rear wing of Ricky Bobby. He was from the infield all the way up to the bus stop chicane. And half a second between these two. I don't think Lewis will be able to get the move done on this occasion. But 1 lap to go for these guys.
Speaking of half a second, Mr. Captain Penalty himself has just served the half-second penalty, which has allowed Atom to get within 1.2 seconds of him. So if Muffin's not careful on this faster final lap, Atom could find himself back in P5.
Oh, and Muffin has gone a little bit wide into that corner there, so I think that's turn 4. That's going to cut us down to 1.3 now.
Oh, it's going to be a tight one.
Faster running Supra is going to be fast on the outfield. Captain Muffin's going to be staring in his back, in his rear mirror.
So looking back up the front, Geesh and GTR, the gap at 3.4 seconds. So I don't think GTR is going to be able to take the win on this occasion, unfortunately. Sorry, Team GTR.
I think another shout out for Wakey here. He's 1.7 seconds and closing on the back of Scar. Both of them running very low on fuel. Wakey, I think he's had a fantastic race this time out.
Absolutely. As Geesh will round the final turn on the short run to the finish line. He goes 2 for 2 in Season 7. Absolutely incredible stuff for the Respawn Esports driver as he crosses the line to take a brilliant win. GTR comes home in second. Scar, rounding the final turn, holds out from the young Wakey.
Captain Muffin and Atom, the gap is closing, but it's not going to be enough for Atom. He'll have to settle for 6th, and Captain Muffin will take P5.
Wakey P4, Muffin P5, Atom P6, Ricky Bobby under a lot of pressure from Lewis, takes P7, Lewis 8th, Corey Hack 9th, Woody will come home in 10th position.
600ths in that.
That was close.
And Morgan Davey and Blind Man, they were throwing everything at one another entire race long, and they'll complete this one.
Well done.
What a race.
That was really, really good. Action all up the field, switcheroos, and not too many incidents as well. So I think that's a win.
So Geesh furthers his lead at the top of the table with another win. He's second of his Sector 1 career. Brilliant stuff from Geesh. As we have a look at the results of that one once again. Geesh with the fastest lap and pole position takes maximum points for this round. The entire 33 points. GTR will take P2. Scar completing the podium, Wakey P4, Muffin 5th, Atom 6th, Ricky Bobby 7th, Lewis 8th, Corey Hack 9th, Woody 10th, Morgan Davey 11th, and Blind Man coming up in the rear in 12th position. So what do we think of that one, guys? Who's your driver of the day? I'm personally, I am split because firstly, young Wakey, absolutely incredible drive. But then again, you've got Atom. He was misfortuned at the start of the race, but he's come out and come home with a P6. That is absolutely incredible stuff. They're my 2 picks, I reckon.
I was also leaning towards young Wakey for driver of the day, but I'm going to give my nomination to Scar. Simply, he started lower on the grid and made his way up into P3 onto the podium.
Yeah.
I can't fault that for my nomination.
Yeah, I have to admit it's a tricky one today for me. Wakey 8th to 4th, Atom 2nd to last to 6th. Tricky recovery drive for Atom, but he made the 1 stop. Well, he had a 2 stop at the end of the day. But he did make it work, and he's put in a very consistent set of laps there. I think for me, it's gonna have to go to Atom today to recover in the way that he did at a track without a lot of laps with a slipstream. I think that's very impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a couple of nominations in the chat. We have Driver of the Day, Young Wakey from Old Wakey, giving it to his son for obvious reasons. Killer on the Loose says Driver of the Day, Geesh. Driver of the Day, Geesh from Pebble. Awesome drive to Scar as well. As you said, Carbonboy Scar, a great nomination. Driver of the Day, GTR from Petey Pops. VF says Driver of the Day, Wakey. Stranger says GTR. Peb Bowl to Geesh, yep. Karen Unleashed says Brands is going to be brutal. Wait, are we racing at Brands Hatch next? Is that our next stop?
I can confirm that for you in a moment. Bringing up the race, and it is indeed Brands Hatch for 31 laps, racing soft and racing mediums.
So Brocky gives his Drive of the Day to GTR. High on Quack gives their Drive of the Day to Geesh. Womble, Drive of the Day Wakey. Dadson, Drive of the Day GTR. And yeah, we've got a lot of submissions. I mean, GTR, Geesh, Wakey, Scar, Atom, so many people that could get Driver of the Day. So stewards are going to have to count up all the votes. Where's Womble with the Womble Driver? Killer gave his vote to Womble. How wholesome.
Oh, that's a classic vote there.
Oh.
Those two.
That entire race was so much to unpack. There was just battles up and down in both races as well. It was just an incredible night of racing for Sector 1.
Couldn't agree more. We had a red flag at the start of Div 1. We had to go back and give it a start again. Things were a lot cleaner on the start, a little bit of rubbing shoulders and some incredible fights all the way through the race, not just at the beginning, not just at the middle, but also at the end as well. Great job from both divisions, I think, tonight. Brilliant jobs.
I don't mind a little bit of rubbing of shoulders. That's fine, but when it's all out chaos and 4 to 5 cars going into a corner backwards, it's not great.
That's right. Yeah, the red flag was absolutely justified, I think, today. That would have just been a lot of paperwork for the stewards, let's just put it that way, and a lot more to unpack had that race continued.
Yes. Dear stewards, thank me later.
That's right. Buy him a beer.
So once again, I know I asked before the intermission, but guys, we have 32 people watching and 28 likes. Come on, just smash the button. We peaked at like 50 viewers, guys. Where's all the likes? Come on, hit the like button. Do it. Do it.
It's free, and it really helps out the Sector 1 channel, and of course, to keep up to date with the action, you can also hit the subscribe button. So like and subscribe and support Sector 1. It is much appreciated.
It makes me feel happy, guys, if you do it. If you click it, it makes me feel really warm inside.
And what more could you want for those in the commentary box? And yeah, I'd just like to say a pleasure being alongside both of you today in the commentary box. Thank you for having me along. Really appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure having you here.
Whew. So, I think that's everything I've got to say. Do you guys have anything more to mention before we round off tonight's event?
I'd just like to give a bit of a shout out to the Doghouse boys. If you go back over the stream, you'll see that I have fulfilled my obligations.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Oh no. Oh no. I don't even know what it was. Okay. How much money was involved, Carbonboy?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh, okay. It's got to be a word like pineapple or something like that.
Everyone always goes for pineapple.
Yeah. Come on, surely Stranger tells us in chat, what was the word? What did he say? It's so sneaky as well.
I'm trying to think of it as well.
Game.
I'm trying to think of it as well. I'm trying to think if there was any odd commentary moments coming from the side of the commentary box of Carbon.
This is like the third time Carbonboy's done this. At Deep Forest, he had like 2 or 3 words to say, and he snuck them all in, and however times I've re-watched that stream, I still can't find all 3 of them. But he
Which I
assures
believe
me
you still owe me money for.
I do not recall this information. I do not recall placing a bet.
Confirm in the chat logs.
I'll-
Post race
I'll-
with the stewards.
I was gonna say I'll shout you a nitrous hopside, but I can't
That's a bit
find
more
the
than $10.
Yeah, okay, yeah, but also the fact that I don't think you can get them anymore. I went on the Dadson, oh not the Dadson, the Bacchus,
Bacchus.
website looking for it, and I don't think they sell them anymore, which I'm a little bit annoyed about. I think they've replaced it with the Gran Turismo one.
They may have sold out.
Well, it didn't even say sold out. Usually they've got them and saying sold out, but I don't think it did. We might have to get the prospector, Dadson, in the chat to be able to tell us whether I am correct or not, or whether I'm just dumb and can't locate it on the Bacchus website. But yeah, last time I checked, I couldn't find it, and I was very annoyed. So, Karen has a spare hopside, he says. But yeah, huge congrats to everybody for tonight's races. We had crazy battles up and down, huge action. It's what Sector 1's all about, and we love to see it. So stay tuned for next week, guys. Next Sunday, we have Group B once again here at Daytona, featuring Division 4 and Division 2. We struggle for turnouts for those races, for viewership, so every person that comes along, it all adds up, and it's great to see. So
Yeah,
come along and watch that one, guys.
Certainly come and watch me totally bin a strategy again in Div 2. It's going to be absolute magic, and you'll see it live here on Sector 1.
Come along next week and watch me absolutely bin Crazy Kung Fu into Turn 1.
Perfect. It's a challenge now. It's a challenge.
Given that I'm most likely going to be the race director for you two, please don't.
Oh no, we're going to create you some paperwork that you saved today. It's all going to be created next week.
Oh no.
So that's all from me. Any last remarks from you guys before we sign it off?
No, not really. Pleasure as my first time here as a race director. Thank you everyone in Div 3 for behaving for the most part. And yeah, see you chaps next time.
Yeah, thanks for the awesome work that you guys do, Crazy Good Kung Fu, and Carbonboy for being the race directors in our race tonight. It's
in
good
line of someone like Machine Gun Kelly just being shortened to MGK, I'm just going to nickname you CGK.
CGK.
I'm more than happy with that. I've also had Panda and Bamboo and several other things as well, so whatever takes your fancy.
Oh no! Oh no!
Mhm.
Karen's put a bounty on my head. $20. Oh no!
Oh, Karen, thank you.
Oh, I've got to have a target on my back next week.
Oh yeah.
All right, that's everything from us this week. That's Lenocis, CGK. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Yes,
right.
you did.
Yeah, okay. Lenocis, CGK, and Carbonboy signing off for our round 2 of the Sector 1 World Tour. So thanks for coming along, everybody, and we'll catch you all next week when we're live here for Group B. So catch you all next week. Bye-bye.